be the one that's right here, standing by your side. Open up your heart and let me in. I promise not to break you. I promise I'll be all that you want. So let me in my heart before. Let me in. Oh, your love explodes our hearts and blows. Your love explodes our hearts and blows.
Ganja smoking, they got rum in me cup. Bad gals wind up on the dance floor. Other gals wind up on the dance floor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This time, it's going to be the second edition of the Spate Skirmish. My name is Aricast, here with Zurak, and, well, welcome to what we hope not to be is watching Lotus Simulator for 3 hours. Now, luckily for you guys, the first game is going to be on Vine, so that's pretty awesome, and you are going to be watching, as the title says, Mickey Masters versus STXWTP. We're going to be calling them WTP. But anyway, Zurak, what do you think?
Honestly, from what I know from both of these teams, I've seen all of these players play not only within, I think it was actually the Spate Skirmish, but other organizations as well. Both teams are very, very good at a macro level, but it's gonna be which team really can just narrow down their macros to an extent of almost perfection.
Yeah, almost perfection. That's what you obviously like to see. The question is, will it happen, right? Are those executes going on smoothly? Is everybody doing their part? And it all starts with the comp. As we mentioned, it was bind, so you expect to see pretty traditional things, no crazy wild cards. But and again, this is the Spate Skirmish. Anything can happen, and it looks like you might be seeing a unorthodox comp coming from Mickey Masters. They're hovering Reyna and Deadlock.
They're just baiting the casters. Every team loves to do that, where they'll hover an agent, then they don't actually pick it. They pick something else. WTP hovering the Yoru as well as the Clove. The Sky as well, which we've seen quite a bit in previous comps, but right there, Gecko has been taking over a lot more recently in later compositions of bind.
That's true. I mean, there's really a lot of things that teams have been trying to work out on this map, whether it is that Gecko Sky, whether it's Solo Sky, whether it's Sky Fade. It feels like the Initiators is really the thing that varies most on this map, but it is that Deadlock that comes out. And honestly, I love Deadlock on this map. I just hope that for the side of Mickey Masters, they use it correctly. On the left side for WTP, it looks like, okay, there is a little bit of a Clove action for a second, but yeah, they are going to end up on that Brimstone, so no Omen Paranoia, but still, that only flash they're going to find is the Gecko Dizzy.
Yeah, and not only that, but it looked to be that WTP was running a double duelist comp as well as Mickey Masters. So we get to see a clash of duelists. One team running a Raze Jet, where the other team was running a Raze and Reyna. Which, I mean, hey, RR. Gain that or lose that in this game.
Yeah, it's like the, what is it? The beep beep minus 19 RR delivery, or in this case, it would be sending you on home. Because remember, folks, this is just a BO1. So there's no extra life, no second chances. You lose this one, you're out, you're going back home, or at least you're going to bed because it's kind of late at night, but it's going to get even later as we get into the stream today. That fatigue definitely going to set in, but it's about who can last the longest for sure. Now, honestly, I gotta expect that the brims are going to be relatively even because, it's brim on bind. That's pretty standard, but I'm looking at the Sentinels to be really the key difference.
Yeah, absolutely. We see a pretty standard split coming from, is it Mickey Masters, just, running it down B, basically. Just completely running it down B. And Mateo picks off Smarty, and a really, really early pick. That's their Sentinel going down.
That is the Sentinel, but then again, it's not the same effect of having a Cypher loss because already you don't have that flank trip on the attack, so they really are just trying to gain some space. They gather the info, and that's going to allow them to take down towards this B site. Random Schmuck, good for 1 kill, and that's going to be a trade here and there. It does become a 3v2 when it's all said and done, but still, the Cypher holding the space towards elbow is going to be really important because now you have the advantage, or at least you had it before it all goes away. The proactive fight from the attackers is great, and now just up to the Cypher, who gets absolutely doinked. That's the pistol going in favor of Mickey Masters.
Yeah, and honestly, really, really smart, right? They know that their Cypher trips on site, they're not going to be just pushing all, what I like to say, all willy-nilly. But at the same time, they know where they need to push. They know exactly, well, they should know how some Cypher players play. And, one big thing that I like to think is, you know, most teams win the pistol, they win their anti-eco, but then they usually lose their bonus conversion. But who knows at this point? This might go in favor of the opposition.
One thing that has been going well for this WTP side is they have been getting those orbs off the start of the round, which is nice. And they did get the opener last time off of it. This time, they just escaped with the orb, no kill. So the heavy noise made over towards this garden area and no lurker towards A means that there's going to be a flank coming through. This is going to be very deadly for Mickey Masters because the more time you let sit, if you're not aware, the more space you lose. But it looks like they are aware. In this contact towards spawn, it's going to go the way of random schmuck, and that's going to open up the floodgates. Now you can do whatever you want. You can TP, you can hit the site. Either way, it feels like you're still going to be winning the fights. And, well, there's one chance for Nelblood, and they get one kill, but the site still opens up.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, very smart play, right? Just TPing straight over, sending, you know, the entirety of your team. Because you already know exactly how many people should be there. Raph gets one, gets two! And it is now a 1 versus 4 for Interlaced. But it is not looking too good with a Sheriff in hand and the Wingman just sitting by your side.
Good luck. Okay, don't even need to see him. You can just wallbang him. Or even if you did, that's a shoulder, and that's a surgery you don't want to have, especially in this round number 2. Again, you know, we're not going to overhype an anti-eco round because, you know, they have the gun advantage. WTP, they were going for something up towards that A short, but just doesn't work out because Mickey Masters are aware of the gaps they're leaving.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, you know, we're sitting here looking at a potential for Mickey Masters to have a good bonus conversion. But, you know, you see the entirety of WTP sitting on full Vandals, Light Shields, and full shields with, you know, an unorthodox spread, having Brimstone still sitting in spawn. But, you know, Brimstone is still able to cover both sites with the smokes if needed.
Yeah, Smalls showing their hand early is, I mean, not the most absurd thing, right? Obviously, your Cypher is typically on B anyway, so no surprises there. But now netted, the paint shell, that's going to slow down Smalls. Any sort of attack that they have trying to stop this flood. And Wraith is good for one. Yeet and Attic, good for another. And everyone's getting in on the action. It's now a 5v2. And this is not what you want to see out of your first gun round. You've lost all space on site. Your only hope is for Nelblood here to win this fight towards Elbow. But let's be real, Mickey Masters, they're so aware, holding the off angle, and they get the kill there. Mateo, you've got one chance to stop this from being a flawless round, and the shots through the smoke aren't good for them, but they are for Smarty. It is a flawless, and on a bonus round, that's actually absurd.
Yeah, and that is a phenomenal bonus conversion because now you're looking at the economy of Mickey Masters. They're sitting on each player over 5k credits, and not a single one of them has to buy a gun. They all have Vandals just from taking it from WTP from the round. But yeah, not only was it a bonus conversion, it was a flawless bonus conversion.
Yeah, that means it's gonna hurt even more. I mean, Mickey Masters, they had a really solid game. Sure, their opponent maybe wasn't the highest of caliber in terms of rank. They did win 13-2, but that goes to show that they are capable of having this dominant fashion. Nelblood gets netted, and the deadlock really paying off right now. And the mass TP, you know they're not gonna be scared of it. This Mickey Master side, they wanna fight it. Random schmuck, whether they're supposed to or not, is still gonna push through the smoke eventually. You have to expect it. Oh boy, Mateo. Classic isn't great here. No spam. Just quite yet. Waiting for the reposition. And a nice shot from Winton. At least get them one sort of advantage. Oh, free fire through the smoke. Pistols noticed. And they will go down. The Wingman has one chance. And at least it lets Interlaced get the Gecko ults online. Wait, this is actually doable. There's a detain coming through. Sure, it's now a 1v1. But that time is running low. Doesn't choose to stick half because of the paint shell. Oh, retaps takes down so much more HP. And that's going to be Yeet and Attic with 3 on the round. It's close. But Mickey Masters continue their shutout.
Absolutely. You know, now you see Mateo buying the op, right? And personally, just my experience, right? if you're 1-4 as, you know, as a jet, as a duelist, your chances of using the operator to its best potential is probably going to be a little lackluster. But at the same time, these are, you know, top 500 players. You can't count them out yet. They could easily just be having a bad game.
Really, these matchups, you know, it might seem to be, oh, well, one player's popping off. They're hard carrying their team, but that's not really the case because in a game like this, anyone can have the potential to pop off. Right now, it's Sneak Fnatic, double satcheling on site. The off shots are wide from Mateo, and that hurts, right? You put a really heavy investment into this round, and it doesn't pay off. This is not the result that you want to see, especially after last week falling a little bit short, too, for this WTP side. They want to get something back into this game, and it just won't happen just quite yet. 3v1, the final situation, and wide swung lands the shot because of the reload, but Yeet Fnatic to clean it up with the nade.
And right there, like I said, you know, 1-4 using an operator, it's going to be a little lackluster, and, you know, I could bet you that Mickey Masters right now we're laughing a little bit at the fact that they used a paint shell to get a kill. But at the same time, right, so far, Mickey Masters haven't really been doing a lot of protocol. They've just been picking a site and hitting it. The only thing that they've done so different is just using the TP to get off of B site.
This is the first time I think we're seeing a full A hit, right? Usually they're not the first ones to go in, and Yeet Fnatic cashes in the showstopper. That's 2 free kills, and oh, Smalls. Oh no, I mean, that's a sheriff moment, if you will, but still could have wished for more. Antmo takes that one down, and now just 2 players remaining for WTP. You're trying to do damage on the sheriff round, but it seems like you're finding less value than before. The flick shot's not there the first time, but the second shot will find its mark, and now the netting onto Winton, just leaving them stuck in this place. They're going to have to crouch walk all the way back to spawn if they want to at least get to safety, but they will not even find that. Being a little bit too heavy there, and that will be 6-0 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, not only 6-0, but yet another flawless round from Mickey Masters. They are just completely showing why they are having a very dominant series. Like you said, they won, what was it, 13-2?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that team may not have been the best, but at the same time, the momentum boost that they have and the morale that you get from winning 13-2 overall can just carry into a game where you're facing people who can be better than you, but it does not matter.
Mateo with the off shot, and that one will not land. It feels like every time that contact goes, it ends with Mateo falling on down. Winton just barely escaping the paint shells, and now actually ults themselves. Wait, are they going to take themselves down? Yes, they do! Oh, no! That is pure disaster! And maybe now we realize why the score is 6-0.
Absolutely, and what an absolute blunder, like you said. I mean, at the same time, yes, maybe ulting that spot did deal a little bit of damage, but unfortunately, it wasn't the correct play. Smarty getting a nice pick onto Smalls, and Interlace probably with the best call to just go ahead and save the rifle, not lose any more money into the future rounds.
Yeah, great job from Mickey Masters. I mean, right now they're just playing aggressive. They're finding what works for them, and that is, well, running it down. But it's not like they're full-on just pushing a site with no regards, right? They're still clearing corners. They're still doing contact plays, still at least putting some mental game in this one. Because if you do make yourselves predictable, it's going to give WTP a chance. But we talked about Mickey Masters being on a roll too. Guess what? WTP, I believe they won their game 13-3 last round. So this is kind of the flip side for them. They're not quite used to this today.
Not at all, and the buy for WTP is going to be very, very broken. Interlace, Now Blood being able to afford rifles. Smalls being able to buy up to a Guardian, but Winton and Mateo both sitting, well, Winton sitting with the Sheriff, but if I'm not mistaken, Mateo might pop knives here. But I really don't know how beneficial that will be when Smarty is sitting there with the Deadlock ult.
Yeah, we'll have have to see how that kind of plays out here, but still, some chance is better than none, and now that some chance has dissipated just to a classic. It feels like the aim not quite on for Mateo today. It's just a whole bunch of problems stacking together, and the annihilation will add another to that total. Make it 2 players falling down early on this B side. And sure, the flank is pretty solid, but you have to imagine that the players are going to be aware. Yes, the sky is contact towards long and one towards spawn. It's going to be a solid shot from both sides, but eventually will fall yet again. 8-0 now, and I hate to say it, but I mean, if timeouts are a factor here, you'd certainly want to pop one.
Not only would you want to pop one, you would have wanted to pop one about 4 rounds ago, maybe 3 at the most, right? Because you're looking to stop the momentum. And the best chance a team has when they get momentum is, you know, winning 4 rounds, 5 rounds, you know, in a row back to back. But at the same time, they maybe just they're maybe just thinking that they have, you know, they'll have a god tier attack side too. Maybe the flip side will be, you know, hopefully in favor of WTP to see more Valorant, but at the same time, Mickey Master's just doing so much right now.
Yeah, it just feels like, you know, this Mickey Masters side are on a tear, and they're really haven't been contested, right? You haven't seen those 1v1, 2v2 clutch scenarios, but here, at least Smalls finding the first blood is what you expect to see, or at least hope to see from your Cypher. And sure, the smokes are used towards this B side. The Sky smokes, that's all of them gone, but now Wraith finding one pick going back in their way, and this is slowing down the attack for Mickey Masters. They haven't quite rotated yet, but no information from WTP on the A side will mean that this fight just keeps being prolonged. Wraith, please be aware that there's somebody in that smoke, and they are, that's for sure, and Wraith will land the shot. Winton overstays their welcome, and now this one tips again towards the Mickey Masters side. You hate to see it if you are that WTP side, but at least a paint shell evens it on up. Maybe costing their life, not the most ideal situation. There's the satchel peek, and not pushing on out just yet. The Dizzy broken. And now the 2v2 will commence. 2 players lined on up, and Smarty with the first, Random Schmuck with the second, and you wish the util would have been a little bit more valuable. Unfortunately not.
I mean, that round looked a lot better from WTP. We saw them stalling out a lot more. We saw them actually, like, almost put a proper halt to Mickey Masters' play, but, you know, the second that Raph went down and decided to continue sitting inside the smoke, it was practically over from there, being a, what was a 3v2 to end up in, you know, 2v2 and then a 2v none.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you have to take into account here, and right now, map control has been the weaker sort of side for WTP. Timing missed there, but Mateo, at least now with 2 kills, this is going to make it the best chance they've had so far to converting around and interlaced with an additional kill. This one very, very doable. You have the ults to secure it if you need to, and Wraith has to go on ahead on a swivel. Just leaving this down to Antmo. If anybody can do it, I guess it's going to have to be them. And the flawless streak might end here. Okay, Smalls will fall. I'm not going to question what happened there. I didn't see it, but now Antmo good for 1 kill. Now it's starting to get a little bit scarier, because that Trailblazer could get a kill here for all we know onto the get-go. Antmo making this one ever so much more doable, but how do you play the situation? Do you opt to go away and run away towards that B site? Or do you hope for them to be towards the A site and maybe isolate the picks?
Honestly, Antmo right now has to basically clear every single corner. And Interlace, I don't think was spotted, but one... Are they going CT?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
1 enemy remaining. That's 3.
And they have the read! There's no way. This was a 5v1, right? That Antmo's been in, and now... Maybe not the ace clutch, but still the 4K clutch with the team kill piling on up. This could be another massive blunder for this Mickey, not for the Mickey Master side, for the WTP side. Antmo waiting for the contact to jump out. And it's going to be a little bit of a test for Enmo. Can Winston play the mind game? Winton play the mind games. Oh, spots the barrel. And there's the shots. No way. No way do you win that, Mickey Masters. Okay, make it 10-0. Maybe the flawless is still in the picture. Maybe we see that 13-0.
That was such a blunder from WTP. Antmo basically getting a 1 vs 5 clutch, with Winton accidentally team killing Smalls, but Antmo played that about as perfect as a round can get when you have to clutch that scenario. The comms in Discord had to have been high after a clutch like that, and again, right? 10-0. What can they do? Like they can't do much.
Well, maybe they have to get aggro, and the showstopper doesn't even find anything. Oh, Smarty. Smarty at least lands the shot, or at least the net, onto the player. We'll block them all off. Say, yeah, you're not coming this way. You shall not pass. And the A site opens on up after the Dizzy. Oh, hello, Dizzy. It's a shame that you're stuck up there because now that will not be retrieved at all. Looks like this poor Gecko is going to have to make a hero play to get this number favor back on their side. And it just does not seem doable. You might want to save the ults for the final round, but you've been saving them for the whole half already. You kind of lost all sort of value. It's just about ult jumping in the final round, and Smalls, at least with the first kill, but the neural theft used in a 1v4 scenario, you know where the players are, but good luck taking all of them down at the same time. The vibes are not high for WTP, and 11-0 will be the score. This is rough.
Did I just see a GG come out in all chat already? I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. 11-0.
Well, from WTP, though.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. If I'm in WTP's shoes, absolutely, right? I am just saying, good job, guys. Good luck in the next round. But at the same time, you still have your entire other half. There is, I won't say a chance, but there's still some hope potentially for them to at least win a round and potentially convert it longer.
Well, if they can do it, we can do it too. Maybe that's going to be the game plan. Oh, shots. Oh. Okay, yeah, we got some inspirational ultimates to say the least, but they still do not prevail. Everything just invested into Garden, and that doesn't work out. Winton now noted, and it's going to be Rift just to run them down. 360! Unfortunate.
And that, that'll do it for the half. 12-0 for Mickey Masters. And they've got to take all the momentum that they just had from their, I guess, flawless attack side and at least just win the last round that they need to make it a 13-0.
I mean, what? the funny thing is, right, is it really a defensive half or an attacking half? Because if it's 12-0, there might not be a second half. There might just be one more round.
Yeah, you actually do have a point. And hopefully, as much as I want to hope for WTP to win the round, I have to say Mickey Masters has been putting on a masterclass of just pure aim and skill.
Yeah, shots, the pistols, really the only chance that this WTP side has left. They're going to hope for some sort of advantage, at least to get the donut off the board, but Winton's making that so difficult. Almost the ace. Random Schmuck left. That's the second. Do you have any more in you? The Ghost not quite lining up for the headshots, but the player's lining up, and there you go. It's 4 kills for Random Schmuck, and the 13-0 comes on out. You hate to see it, but sometimes that even happens in Tier 1.
Absolutely, and I have to give props not only to Random Schmuck for them getting a 4K and winning the final round to make it 13-0, but Winton gave them such a great chance of getting the 4K themselves.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you have to think about when choosing the match, because we do choose these matches, by the way, to go on for the stream. We look at ranks, we look at the time that the games are completed, we look at how many times these teams have been featured on the stream before and what possible matchups it might leave us. And this we thought would be, well, one of the games to watch, and it was certainly entertaining, maybe not for the reasons that we hoped for, but it is a result nonetheless that will be in the bracket. You have WTP falling short, and this Mickey side, they're going to keep on going, have plenty of momentum to go into the next game. But a BO1, that's just it. For WTP, this tournament is over for them.
Yeah. That is right. That is done for WTP. Mickey Masters do end up moving on to the semifinals, but at the same time, what can any of the teams that are left in the bracket do against a team that just not only 13-2'd their first match, but now just 13-0'd their quarterfinal match?
Yeah, that's gotta hurt, right? So Mickey Masters, they're gonna go on. They're gonna play the winner of Pharmaca's World and Event Horizon Red. Now on the other side, we're still waiting for the winners of Spate Esports, Shrek Ogres, as well as Army of Five and WoW Little Pug Stars. But might have a little bit of a teaser for you. We are going to swap to the other side of the bracket when we come back from the break, and we might see a possible rematch from the last grand finals in the previous Spate Skirmish. So keep your eyes peeled. Make sure to stay after the break, and we'll be right back with some more Valorant.
See you in a bit.
Race the line, you can take your time. right here standing by your side. Open up your heart and let me in. I promise not to break you. I promise I'll be all that you want. So let me in my heart before. Let me in. Oh, your love explodes. Our hearts implodes. Your love explodes. Our hearts implode.
music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house. 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 It's all about house music. It's all about house music. House music. House music. House music. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house. It's all about love. It's all about love. It's all about house music. 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 House music.
I try to cheat, but I won't beat it. Raise the line, you can take your time. Ready, set, go. Raise the time. Raise the line, you can take your time. Ready, set, go. Raise the time. Right here, standing by your side. Open up your heart and let me in. I promise not to break you. I promise I'll be all that you want. So let me in my heart before. Let me in. Oh, your love explodes. Our hearts implodes. Your love explodes. Our hearts implode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Spate Skirmish. This time it's number 2, and we are moving on to the semifinals. We've got a solid matchup for you right now. It's going to be Shrek's Ogres versus WoW Little Pug Stars. And here's a little bit of a funny story. We were kind of expecting Army of 5 and Spate Esports to win their games, making this a rematch of the grand finals from last week, but neither of them won. So you get a fresh new few faces and a solid game to look at today.
Yeah, as great as it would have been to see that rematch come into effect, their first map probably being Lotus. It is great to have these new teams and these new faces show up on stream every once in a while and not have one team just completely dominating through. So, unlucky to both Spate and Army of 5, but like we said, right? Congrats to the two new teams, which is Shrek's Ogres and WoW Little Pug Stars for making it.
These are some names, and honestly, sure, go for it, right? These are tourneys, it's not VCT. You can do whatever you want. I mean, you could even be the Dobros or whatever in challengers, right? That was one of the names, or still is, or something like that. Either way, right? This is a BO1 this round, so the winner of this goes on to the grand finals. They're going to play the winner of Event Horizon Red and Mickey Masters, who we just saw previously that had the 13-0. Oh boy, that's going to be a matchup, but we got to stick with the one that we have here right now. It is going to be Haven that we are watching, so no Lotus Simulator for us this time. In fact, we haven't seen it yet today, which means we all know we're going to see it in the grand finals. But, I mean, talk about team comps, right? Haven, kind of one of those that had a predefined meta, but now with the new patches, teams are still kind of trying to figure out which agents and which comps kind of work now, because it's not the same game anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a lot of teams run Neon, like we saw Thug Hunter was just hovering Neon, but a lot of teams still, run that set Sentinel, which is Cypher. There's just so many different things you can do, so many different setups, and Omen probably being your best set pick for smokes just due to the fact of you have those rechargeable smokes.
Mm-hmm.
You can throw it to fake a site, and now you have all of your smokes back online for when you have to re-hit.
You see, we saw the deadlock in the previous map with Mickey Masters, but I don't know how efficient that's going to be on this map. Yeah, it's only really handy for places where you have to drop down or where you have to funnel fast through a choke. So I guess you could do C main, but still, right? That's not going to function as that Cypher, who will be there at least. So maybe they got something cooking. Maybe we can't judge just quite yet, but still, definitely interesting to see what these teams are cooking up. I am actually going to disagree with Cypher. I think Killjoy is a better one here, but I guess everyone to each their own, and maybe they'll pull off something miraculous that I'm just not aware of, and it's going to make me actually like Cypher for the first time in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one thing that hasn't been changed on this map, and that's Sova, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sova has been run from basically when the game got released, and when Sova, I think Sova was one of the first, right? When Sova was released, to stay on this map and not change. There are several hundreds maybe of lineups that you can do. But at the same time, it comes down to the effectiveness of those lineups rather than the use of them.
Yeah, I mean, definitely post-plant capabilities are massive on this map. There's so much stall because you plant for C main, you can play the spam game, you plant towards A, you can throw a bunch of lineups, you can play from different angles, there's heaven, there's hell, there's so much space you have to clear, and even B, it's just a firing range, right? So that utility is very, very key in this map, which is why you see the mirror comps coming out. Map 1 of 1, it's gonna get underway. And honestly, I'm excited for this one to be a little bit more, I don't want to say interesting, but a little closer than the previous game we saw.
Yeah, I did a little bit of digging about the game that Shrek's Ogres played before, and one thing they really liked doing was a C hit, and we're gonna see it really quickly. Arrow taking out Thug. Avik takes out Arrow, gets some good trades going. That is both of the duelist players down for each team.
Well, that was kind of fast. I mean, you're expecting maybe a little bit of a feeler towards the pistol round, but no. Going right in towards that garage context seems to be what everyone likes to do right away. Sonar will fall, but it's not before WoW picks up one somewhere else. The 3v3 and the plant will go down, but B is not the easiest site to spam from for long, so they are going to opt to walk into this A-Link area, which not spotting the elbow just quite yet. No step heard. And it's the Cypher. Oh no. Galaxy was trying to find a little bit more trigger discipline, but still lands the kill and spots out one. Now spots the leg of the second. Stunned on up, but still the shots are landing for sure. And now spotting the last player. That will do it. The defuse comes on through. And Galaxy with a big impact kill to make this 1-0.
Absolutely right. That is something that, you know, we see a lot of teams not really do, actually, which is, you know, take use of that B site. A lot of teams opt to, you know, plant for the easy sites over towards A or over towards C, where there's a lot of different ways it's easily accessible to hit the site. But when you look at B site, there really is, you know, one major funnel as well as a slight area you can get through all the way from garage. So it's one of the harder sites to properly hit unless you split through mid.
Outlaw now in the picture and full shields for the attackers, which means, if my calculations are correct, they forced up, which they did. It's 5 stingers and 5 full shields for the whole team. They have confidence. They want to win this round, and already it's, I guess, off to a rough start because you don't see the value quite right away. Going for that lurk up B main. The stinger is not going to be great from long. The smoke at least protecting that walk up real quick. And this one, it's going to be a tough timing to take, but will you find it? Sonar catches at least one player with their gun not out, but still the 1-for-1 trade comes through. The space not gained, and the Bulldogs still reigning victorious, but definitely a lot of damage. You want to hope for the round win, though, and Galaxy can't quite land the shots, but it is Arrow who ends up flanking on around from Sewers. That will be 2-0, and you have to imagine now the attackers once again on an eco.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the greatest times where you can hit that bonus conversion, right? Is once that team buys up, their economy is very lackluster. They're buying sheriffs, they're buying, you know, a marshal and a stinger, whereas your whole team is now sitting. You have 2 outlaws, you've got a vandal, you know, one with a ghost, and then you also have a bulldog. You have a lot of heavy hitting weapons just on the side of little pug stars.
Surely they don't peek window dry, right? But they definitely do jump spot the outlaw. What? Never mind. No, they didn't, but they found the timing on Arrow to back on up. Going through shots through the smoke. Maybe no playing in the smoke. Going for the no scope. It is good for 1. Arrow pointing towards the correct direction, and that one being the W on the board. They find themselves up in numbers advantage, and that's going to force the attackers to make a little bit of a pause here, but it's not for too long because guess who's A main? It's, I believe, Galaxy, and they will find the kill. It's a little shaky, but Lord of the Dong falls on down, and now just going to crunch up on that space, or at least hold it to force out some mistakes. This garage is now a place of contention. That seems...
Spike down mid. Last player standing.
defensive side all very low.
30 seconds.
Sultanate has to land a bunch of headshots to even find themselves in this round, and only can find 1 kill before the eco does not find enough value.
You know, the largest thing right now that Little Pugstars is doing, probably the best that I've seen so far, is they're isolating a bunch of the map. They had Cypher pushed all the way down to C long. They had Sova all the way pushed down into A main. There is absolutely no area that they can be except for mid, window, or their spawn. They are keeping them confined to this small area that it's not giving Shrek's Ogres any chance to breathe.
I mean, you dart right away towards A main, right? If that doesn't tag anything, you're going to contest that space. You're going to start walking up. The only way that you can maybe scare them off without giving immediate info is either A, breaking the dart, or playing anti and then trying to counter attack that person trying to take that free space. But of course, it's round 3, right? That was an eco. Those mind games are going to start to happen a little bit more. But, you know, we talk about what's happening on A, look at C, right? Already this Jett is pushed all the way up, meaning these defenders know the site hit will be A or at least heavy towards B or A. And with all this space, they're going to have to cash in eventually. It seems like that time is not quite yet. Thug Hunter getting stunned up, and that's going to stall it out even more. Lord of the Dog still tucked into sewers, and it seems like there's no flashing out, but finally they are just going to choose the right timing. Cyborg, at least good for one, and everybody fell down. Where'd they all go?
Well, from the looks of all the weapons on the ground, it looks to me that they just could not get any kills. But honestly, right here, I wouldn't be shocked if Pugstars decide to call it a save. Simply due to the fact that they're sitting here with an operator and a Vandal. There really isn't much that they can do. And I think that is exactly the call that they're going to do. They are going to hold and play for exits and see exactly what they can get done.
Yeah, there is a world, but eventually somebody's going to start rotating off. Yeah, trying to play a little bit of exits and do some economy damage. But honestly, a really solid round from Shrek's Ogres. Maybe it just took them getting into the guns to get started, but that's 5 guns still saved, only 1 shield lost, and it seems like we were having a game on our hands.
Yeah, I mean, 1 shield down, that's still, you know, still 1,000 credits that you have to spend, but at the same time, this side of Pugstars, they save an operator, they save a Vandal. The rest of the team, not only can they buy, you know, full shields with armor, well, except for Galaxy. Galaxy sitting on light shields, but they can also buy rifles, which, as many of you know, are your key to hitting not only crispy one-taps, but also being able to one-tap.
Immediate contact found over towards the C site, and that's going to drag over the rotate from, I believe that's Galaxy on that A site, as Jett gets on the angles, already space gained.
I have the spike. Shock that. I am the hunter.
Spike down, C.
Here. No more meddling. Cover going out.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, absolutely. Because not only do they know that they have to be within their side of the map, you know,
Enemy remaining.
3 killed.
Arrow is currently pushing all the way in through their spawn. And I don't think that Thug Hunter knows, but Sonar gets the nice 4K to clean up the round, and that is 4-1 for Pugstars. And that right there, you know, they keep the operator. They still do a decent amount of damage to Shrek's Ogres' economy, but look at the ultimates that Shrek's Ogres has online. They've got the Hunter's Fury. They've got the Neural Death. They have the From the Shadows. They have a bunch of ults that are really going to be important, especially during a post plant.
Yeah, this one, it's very interesting because right now you've seen Shrek's Ogres never shy away from a site. Once they get that initial space, even if they find some contestant on the opposite side, they do not want to re-clear. So maybe that's a play that they can take to get themselves some extra rounds, or maybe the lurk plays will be valuable if you can find the timing like this Cypher has towards A. And I think spotted the back of somebody. Galaxy did not spot the back, so you're going to have a solid timing, and that's going to drag rotates around. No, Cyborg, how did you go down towards short? That's gotta hurt. And that is very painful. Arrow missed the initial shot, drops the op, still has time to pick up an extra gun, and land a one-tap. That's beautiful, and sure, you don't have the bomb, but it is over towards Garage, and that's going to force Zeke in a 4v1. Not really the best positioning because you have teleports, you have TPs, but that's hurt. Zeke will just walk into Cypher, and what can you say but wow.
And right there, we saw the best use from the shadows from Sonar, TPing all the way from their site to A just to try and help out Arrow in any which way that they can. And fortunately, it worked out, right? The added aggression from that angle just allowed Arrow not only to pick up the Vandal in time to kill Cypher, but get that crispy one-tap onto Sultanate.
I also heard the jet updraft being used pre-round, and it did not end up going to use on high ground, so a minus 200 there for you, but still value found from the bullets. Who cares about the updraft if you can still land your shots? And there's a dash through, a trip towards the C site. There's players on site, but unfortunately it's only one. The tap of the bomb won't even go down. And now you have a Veek. Blind as a bat. WoW will find another, and WoW will get 4 on the round. Okay, I mean, you can spread your ace up between 2 rounds, but right now it's 6-1, and we might be visiting that good old score of 7-1, sending us to Brazil.
Absolutely. You know, that... I understand that only due to the fact of I am a huge nerd of Rocket League. That is where I see a lot of my Brazils come from. But with Valorant, it does stay the same, 7-1. You know, that's what they're looking for, right? But at the same time, Shrek's Ogres, they're probably going to look to deny it with the fact that they are at a full buy.
Standing ahead.
Galaxy once again with the dart, can't quite break it this time, and that's going to discover out the op, but oh boy, just tanking that scan, running towards short is not going to be your best option. Arrow finds you with the op, and oh boy, just not even being scared one bit is the attackers, and maybe they should be. Galaxy has to clear one more corner, and that'll do it. It's literally just the defense running it down off of the contact from the attackers, and the attackers, they need to back it up. They need to chill out for a hot sec.
Yeah, absolutely. Right here, honestly, timeout. Timeout should get called right about here. As great as it is that you have your Hunter's Fury, Rolling Thunder from the Shadows, and Blade Storm online, there's really nothing there's nothing that they are doing right now that is working. They need to fix it. They need to go back to the basics, because all Sherb has to do is use the Rolling Thunder on a plant, and it gets stalled so much.
Let's see if maybe we have a pivot in this round. The bomb dropped towards spawn, so you'd assume this is a bit more of a default, but it's a passive one. Sure, they have the B space, but they don't even have into garage yet. They're not even fighting for that. Don't have anything towards A main or C main, and really it just comes down to WoW's contact here, spotting out an arm, spotting out 2 players, now going to get stunned up, but we all know stun is cosmetic. WoW spraying through this one, and does not have any bullets left, but gets out with their life. Oh, very scary for Veek, but does manage to get out. When it's all said and done, the first contact, not going for the attackers, and that seems to be a common theme.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is that, you know, their duelist is gone as well as their smokes. They have lost 2 key aspects of this game, and there goes their Cypher from Sonar. So the last 2 are going to be sitting peeking garage door. It looks like they're playing Ring Around the Rosie. Sure picks 1, picks off 2 for the 3K, and, you know, that's 8-1.
Well, as much as you might think this is a blowout, this is still a closer game than last one's, so we'll give it that. But, you know, you kind of got to stick with the fact that Shrek's Ogres thought one thing. They were like, okay, let's run it down. Let's just use all of our util together. That didn't work. So they tried waltzing in one by one, trying to find lurk timings. That didn't work. Why? Because they didn't spread out enough. I think if they play those mind games just a bit more, at least have some space to begin with, they're going to see a little bit more of success.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I got so concerned when what I thought they were going to be doing was just constantly going for the same mid hit, right? And that is one thing that, you know, teams really need to look at is, you know, how often are we hitting the same area and how often is it working? Because a lot of the times it's not. Galaxy gets the pick on Lord of the Dog with a great assist from Sherb. Wow, does get picked off from Thug Hunter, but Arrow immediately takes out a Veek. That, you know, that still leaves the player advantage on the side of Pugstars.
The Pugstars' advantage is just knowing the map so well, knowing how players react, and Arrow will have to get out here with the operator. It's a little scary, but still one player left on site. It's Sherb, and will claim at least one kill. The fault line connects onto another, but it doesn't matter. They're already dead, and that is just another round for little Pugstars. You saw them re-clearing that A main space because they knew that they had lost C, they had lost A, they needed to gain it somewhere, so they pop a flash. It's the perfect timing. They catch a Sova walking up, and that is how you play this map in particular, and just showing off the Valorant fundamentals.
Absolutely. And if you look at the score, if you look at the economy, right, you've got 3 players on the side of Pugstar sitting over 7.5k credits, being able to buy their teammates for what 2 rounds should be. And this side of Shrek's Ogres buying Light Shields, Sheriffs, Stingers, and a Guardian.
Just a dominant showing from little Pugstars right now. The question, will it continue? Will it stay through? And right now, Thug Hunter finding at least the opening, but Lord of the Dong just walking into a crossfire. You hate to see that one, but sometimes that's the risk you take when trying to go for a lurk on the opposite site. But the slight gain now, and this feels like the best chance for Shrek's Ogres. However, that numbers advantage dwindling as one will already fall. The post-plant scenario not the best with the weak weaponry. So they are going to need to expand, and they do. They find at least one kill, and oh my gosh, Sonar is crispy clean with it. Galaxy to clean it all off as well. But it is 10-1, and little Pugstars, they do not seem to be capable of losing.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they are going to be slowing down anytime soon. Absolutely. I want a replay on this. Sonar getting the first one and hitting the nicest spray transfer that I've seen in a while.
Well, you clearly don't watch my competitive ranked games because I do that every single round. I'm just the best player, Radiant rank 1. Don't at me? Hey, okay. Well,
Okay,
anyway,
how you doing, Poppin'?
Okay. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll join this tournament next in the next 2 weeks. That's when we have these every 2 weeks, and maybe I'll play in this and be just better than all these players. But Arrow is putting on a good case for why he is the best right now. Does go down here, but still, that's the bomb. Dropped the space, completely gained, and well, there's a From the Shadows used to go to the defender spawn, but seems like the defense are completely aware of where they could be. Oh, Cyborg, do they get cleared here? Yes, yes they do. So they are out. Well, they are going to be, you know, noticed in spawn because that drone comes through, but Galaxy tries to reflank through it. Wow, we'll find one and will go down, but oh my gosh, that's an offshot through the wall, and the Neural Theft used will spot out this final Omen from the Shadows, now completely irrelevant as it's just fighting for this bomb and looks for the bomb as opposed to the operator. That's not going to go well for you. It's 11-1.
That right there is a phenomenal half from Little Pugstars. 11-1. All they have to do is win 2 rounds, and you know, as simple as it should sound, win 2 rounds. We've seen teams, even in the pro scene,
NRG.
throw rounds like that. I wasn't gonna call anybody out. I was gonna say the old Fnatic loud, but
I'll take the smoke. I'll take it.
at the same time, you know, Energy did do that recently, actually.
Yeah, I mean, those rounds do happen, and obviously, right, if Shrek's Ogres do lose this first pistol round, they are going to force up, which, granted, they lost the previous time, but maybe it'll work this time, right? Maybe the side swap is just something that they needed. Avik Just going to take a really aggro contact out and does spot the Cypher, but that's free C site gained. You have to assume that they're going to plant for long and the spam will come through. Or maybe Arrow just wants to push on through. Either way, it feels like their options are limitless.
Yeah, absolutely. And right, that is something that you want your duelist to do. You want your duelist to be able to get on site and take the space necessary. Arrow taking out Lord of the Dong, and there's a 4-man flank coming in, but not a single bit of Cypher util to even block it. And, you know, they all get spotted out.
Hold up. The kills at least going their way for the few first moments. Galaxy can't quite land the fast few shots, but still enough to do some solid damage. And the shot through the smoke. Cyborg with 3. And there you go, Shrek Sogers. A little bit of breathing room. It's not too much, but still something to work with.
Absolutely. And I mean, you know, I'm a big believer in pattern recognition. So, you know, the team that won the pistol in the last half, they won 11 rounds, right?
That's true.
But at the same time, momentum is a very big factor. Snowball effects are a very big factor. If one team is, you know, dominating throughout the whole half, they're gonna take that momentum and immediately go into the next half very, very confident.
Well, I mean, this whole sort of snowball lead that Pugstars had was off of the force from Shrek Ogres, and now Pugstars could be making the same mistake. We'll see how it pans out. Maybe they're a little bit more capable to grab this force out, but the tag missing. Arrow is going to have to get on back, and will at least do so for the moment. The paranoia comes on through. Everybody is blind, but the blind shots are good for Arrow, and Arrow only, as that will be a 1-for-1 trade, but Sherb's still there, being a nuisance. And it does become this 4v3 where everybody on the attacking side is anchored down. The flash is dodged, and the spam going through the wall. Everyone's blind, but it does just go down to Galaxy. Galaxy with shocks available and does have to make some sort of gamble. Could find the spam, and now just down to the classic. The outlaw shots, finally they land, and, well, even more breathing room. Thug Hunter with the defuse, and 11-3. We have seen comebacks from those numbers before.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I don't know if you know this, but it's a really big secret. I'm a really big fan of the Outlaw, right? Massive fan of the Outlaw. It is, you know, it's one of those guns where even a body shot with light armor one-shots. So on a round where you're trying to anti-eco, it's really good, and especially if those teams decide to buy, because they buy light shields, it's still one-shots. And then the next round, when they decide to buy again, they buy light shields. They one-shot again.
You know, I'm a fan of an outlaw, but for a different reason. It's because I always whiff the first shot, but then I'll land the second one. So it gives me 2 chances to actually do what I'm supposed to, and that's what works for me. For Arrow, it might work differently, but hey, that's just the dominant fashion of this little Pugstar side so far. Oh boy, Stinger v Stinger battle, and Stingers long range are never comfy to have. Wow, at least finding one with the Sheriff. Trades back and forth. Avik doesn't quite find the timing, and the dash up on top. You'd hope for a little bit more value than that, but it felt a little troll as well. Cyborg will not find any sort of life because Sonar just picks up the Outlaw and knocks him on down.
And, you know, like the game decides to announce, not only is it match point, not only is it map point, but it's a best of 1. It's series point as well. And Pugstars is just looking very phenomenal. Is someone a Pybro?
Yep.
Oh, no.
It's okay, homie. We've all been there. I mean, I haven't because I'm insane at the game. But, yeah.
I have.
I have.
I've been there before, but... You know, when you look at assist as well, it is massive. Lord of the Dawn gets some really good shots onto WoW, leaving them in a 5 versus 3. Hunter's Fury is invested, but Arrow walks through it, picks off Sultanate, Cyborg gets Arrow, Dawn gets Sherb, and the Neural Theft got used as well.
It was a double tag. I mean, they know where these players are, but it's about can you land the spam, and this is a really good plant spot for spam. They're not quite landing it, so it's already half, it's already stuck, but now the player going down. I think if they just body block for them, they'll be okay. The defuse doesn't come through. It's a 1v1, 1 HP for both players. The half's on through, the wide swing, now everybody down to 1 HP. Okay, bait me there, but fool me twice will not happen. It's Sonar to take this game 13-3, and the BO1 goes the way of Little Pug Stars.
Absolutely, and you know, as great as it was for us to not see another blowout like the not like that last game, but at the same time, it was still a match where it looked like it could have been very close, but Pugstars just completely start running through the entirety of the defense as well as the attack and just didn't let them do anything.
It really sucks, right? You think that these teams have so much more potential, and we know they do because we've seen them play before. But unfortunately, just today's not their day, something of that sort. That is going to be GG for them. So apologies, you're going on home, sending off to bed, have a nice sleep. But guess what? We've still got more Valorant coming to you after the break. This time, it's going to be the grand finals of Spate Skirmish number 2. And it's going to be at least, well, one of the teams you saw here in this game, Little Pug Stars. We're just waiting on the results from the other game to come through. So when we come back, we'll have that grand finals. We'll see you then.
It's all about house music. 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 House music.
Race the time, race the line, you can take
Hello, everyone. Welcome on back. We've got the good old grand finals for you today of the Spate Skirmish, brought to you by Lux. And my name is Aricast, here with Zurek. Oh boy, grand finals. It has been a day on stream, but finally it feels like, I mean, we've said this before, this should be a close game.
Absolutely. We've said that for all of them, haven't we? But, this one here, grand finals, both teams fought their way through quarters, fought their way through their semis, and, now they sit here face to face against each other. One thing I really noticed right now, we didn't we tweet that it was going to be, Lotus watch party, and all of a sudden we haven't seen Lotus yet.
Yeah, and guess what? We're not going to see Lotus at all today. So that's a fun little result. We're going to be going to Ascent first, and then Bind, and then Abyss if we make it there. So you are going to have fun watching us call there's mid everywhere. But, that's if we get to that map 3. We got to deal with Ascent first. And in terms of wildcards and things that are unpredictable, it feel like it's kind of the opposite. I feel like it's very straightforward. It's Ascent. Come on. The game's been in there for forever.
Yeah, absolutely. There's really only a few set comps, right? Like, you're running Sova, KO, Omen, probably a Killjoy, or a Cypher. I've actually seen it run both ways, but, I think one of these teams is easily going to change things up just because of how busted Neon is now, how broken Reyna, and how broken ISO technically still is.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely certain kind of tweaks that still need to be made for ISO, but he's in a better spot than he was before, that's for sure. Still feels a little wonky, not quite in that equilibrium balance where, teams have figured out how to use him yet. Still a bit of a question mark, right? But if you can trust anybody to do it, it's, well, I guess E.G. Potter. Fortunately, we won't see them do that, so we're going to have to settle for the Spate Skirmish matchup here. And what possibly is that ISO? Did you, by chance, think that any player in specific is going to be going ISO?
I mean, I think Antmo really is probably going to be one, or maybe even Arrow potentially picking up one of the new agents. But, unfortunately, I guess I'm wrong. And I guess I was pretty wrong. I forgot Antmo was not their duelist player, but you do see random schmuck picking up Reyna. Well, hovering Reyna. Let's see if it is just going to be bait or if it is actually going to be a secure lock.
Maybe this is just something that I remember from my dreams, but I could have sworn that I've seen random schmuck on that Reyna pick before. Maybe it was the previous week, especially on this map of Ascent, not just the earlier game that we saw today. It felt like they ran a double duelist, and I think when we saw them before, they also ran the Deadlock. I think the only reason that they fell was because they just ran into the eventual victors, which I believe was Army of 5. Still, this should be an interesting game now that Deadlock is a factor, right? We get some variability, some things that aren't as traditional, and if Sure blocks that in too, we're going to see some extra fun times for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. We will get to see a massive difference between, WoW running that Cypher and Antmo running the Killjoy. We will get to see, how it differences, but at the same time, right? It's basically a mirror match. If
Yeah.
if that Sentinel gets locked in from Sherb, which I believe it will be,
Ooh.
it is a mirror match. We are looking at a basic mirror match, but my only shock is there's no KO. There's no Sky.
Wait, did they have flashes?
I don't think they did.
Did they? Did they? Did they have flashes? I kind of want to check that real quick.
Only flash that they have
Neither team.
is that the only flash that they have is what we like to call a blind. It is the K. It is a KO blind.
Or the Omen blind. The Paranoia.
Oh yeah, the Omen blind. You know, it's been a long day.
And it's gonna get longer because we've got a BO3. Let's do it, baby. It's gonna start right off. We had some fun banter with the players in the lobby, making sure the vibes are up because you gotta represent the Spate community some way, shape, or form. And if that is by connecting with the players, I'm gonna do that. You can yell at me all you want, but it's fun, right? You gotta have some personality with the players, and this time they're definitely going to show it, right? We saw already from Atmo how the frags were and the kind of the ego showing went through, and now, right? This one kind of a battle of the beasts. Obviously, these two teams here for a reason. And as we get underway, a main contact seems to be the name of the game. Already dashing on out right now. And, well, they are going to get on the site for free. And by free, I mean at least nobody going down.
Yeah, absolutely. They gave up sight completely free. And Smarty picks off Sonar through the smoke. Didn't even know where they were, but just managed to pick off enough damage and managed to get the headshot. Right now that gives Mickey Masters the advantage. Smarty picks off Arrow as well. Schmuck gets Galaxy. WoW takes off Raph, but Smarty gets the 3K and looks like he's looking for the 4 and gets the 4 with Sherb.
Revealing area.
I mean, we knew this game would be a little scrappy, but still 4 players alive for Mickey Masters is honestly pretty solid. You'd expect them to maybe stumble or have a little bit more resistance on that attack, but no. I mean, just a free sight gained.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see the tab right now. Smarty got the 4K. Random Schmuck, stealing the ace, but I don't think that's a matter. I don't think that they care enough when, you're winning the rounds. And you see 2 players already buying Vandal Phantom on round 2.
Yeah, really, really solid. And that's going to be something that's deadly. We see the same combo coming on out, but this time instead there is a deadlock wall in the way to make sure that everything does not go a copy and paste of last round. And now everybody flooding on through the rotate through spawn, which is a little unpredictable, sure, but they have no space, so eventually it will get sniffed out. And everybody actually gave up this A space from Little Pug Stars. So sure, the gun advantage is over towards that B main area, but now the stack rotating on over could be anyone's game. Just one mistake, and this all falls to pieces, just waiting for the right timing, waiting for the smoke to dissipate, and for, I guess, possibly a flash, but remember, there really aren't any. Here comes the dart, the run on out. WoW gets scanned, and that's going to tunnel vision them there, which might hurt them, but it might also help them. The spam, almost from the wrong teammate, but it still gets the job done. Ray finds one, and just like that, the guns go boom, and you find yourself in a 5v1 scenario if you're Sonar, and good luck with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sonar sitting in spawn, just 100 HP, but, only has a classic. And Random Schmuck, not only do they get the 3K, but they pick off Sonar to get them their anti-eco. And this is their bonus, and they're going into their bonus not only with, 2 Spectres and a Bulldog, they're going into their bonus with 2 rifles, like heavy-hitting rifles. They have a Vandal and a Phantom.
Definitely room to shatter the economy, but I have to ask, have you seen anything that's been kind of deadlock specific that we wouldn't have seen in a maybe traditional comp game?
Absolutely. The ability to force certain rotates, throwing that wall, as great as it is to, throw that wall and stall, it's great for stopping teams from going because they know there's deadlock util. they don't know what else is there because everything is spotted out. Galaxy gets tagged from the drone. Sure, throwing the grav net, not picking off anybody. Raph gets wow, and United baits the TP to get info, but takes a lot of damage in the process.
Yeah, especially with that Odin, it can be very deadly, and it will be as well as the rest of the rifles. Smarty now in a 1v2 and does not have the bomb. That's going to be a lot tougher, and actually just starting out the close areas, making sure nobody's trying to lurk their way around. I wish that dart would have been used maybe for backside or in the different tree to gather a little more info, but the high-low seems to be the current setup. It's just not being held quite away, and you saw the foot but took the angle too wide before they realized. Sonar picks up the kill and the first round for the Little Pug Stars.
Absolutely, and you know, as much as it might suck that they didn't get their bonus conversion, they're still able to buy full equipment, like full util, full shields, and a rifle. And the side of Little Pug Stars, unfortunately, not being able to buy back everything that they lost.
It right now definitely feels like a gap for the Mickey Masters to kind of just take advantage of, and it seems like they might also know that as they fight for this mid space, and they're trying to break a trip. They don't see anything, and that's just going to allow a random schmuck to walk on up. This mid space, sometimes teams don't know how to use it, but it seems like Mickey Masters do. Arrow, these shots are a little bit iffy, but they do not find their mark. Unfortunate, but that's what you get for a wallbang. And that is an interesting deadlock wall. I mean, it's to stop a rotation through mid, but it does just funnel them all the way through CT, make them play retake, which could be better in this scenario, considering they are at the gun disadvantage. Playing together will be your best bet, and they will find their way onto the A site. The trips are broken as well as Sonar's face, but Arrow still good for 2 kills, and just has to reload. Unfortunate for you, but the net tagging onto 1 just below the feet will not land the bullets, and the head spotted. A dink comes through, but just 1 HP, and the pressure, it's mounting, and finally Sherb will get that kill down, but some move needs to be made from Smarty and the rest of Mickey Masters, otherwise they will find themselves in a rough scenario, and that they do. Smarty with the first, but hasn't gotten the bomb down, and Galaxy with the Odin spray to clean it all up.
Absolutely. I saw the wall that you were talking about, the one that was thrown very deep down mid and past Pizza, but at the same time, what that does is that stops them from being able to try and retake all the way from Market. It forces them to funnel all the way down CT. So it sort of relieves a little bit of pressure from looking at an area, and you'll know if someone's there if you hear an updraft or if you hear them breaking the wall.
Just feels like they're, what is the value? Because they can still kind of rotate all the way through that tree area and go into A main through door anyways, but that's in the past. Right now, the operator is the present, and it is finding victims already. No real ultimates other than the Hunter's Fury, and ideally you'd like to use that for post-plant, but if you have to use it for entry here, you might. Atmo rotating back through spawn. And what do you think is the approach going in here? Do they just bum rush it in, or will that prove to be costly?
They even attempt right now to try and bum rush it in without not only clearing any of the util there, but without trying to clear all of their corners correctly. It is going to be very futile, and it will get them immediately picked off. Ammo is sitting in tree, but I think got spotted by Sonar, and having Sonar and WoW both holding this angle, there really isn't much for Ammo to do, and I think the rotate probably is the better call, but Arrow is holding that mid with the op, and they've just drawn the rotates over.
WoW was asleep at the wheel, that's for sure, but that kill, it might do a little bit too much harm for them, as it actually, yeah, like you mentioned, now has 2 players sitting over towards that A heaven side yet again. Time running low. You're going to need to make an entry, and looks like Sherb's probably going to pop this Annihilation to stall any sort of push. The fact that they haven't yet is surprising, and already they dropped the bomb, but that's enough to make this a GG on the round. Sure, you have 2 players alive, make that 1, but the round is over. You will not convert it. The shots landing on the first, but now not the second and going down.
Yeah, you know, I really did think that Sherb was going to pop the Annihilation as well, but luckily enough, timing was a really great factor and was able to pick off not only, you know, Omen, but it was the person carrying the bomb, which just absolutely wasted any hope that they have of getting that bomb planted down. You know, we see the Neural Theft online. We see, you know, Bladestorm Annihilation, but we also see the Annihilation Bladestorm on the side of, you know, Mickey Masters, but the Hunter's Fury is also online for them.
And this smoke is great. Typically you think, oh, I'm going to hold A site. Let me just smoke main. Well, that makes the attackers actually have to work for clearing that wine space, and kind of promotes a little bit of a threat. The updraft, the Annihilation, everything being used, and doesn't tag on to Sonar, so at least claiming 1 kill before going down, but the damage now done from the attacking side, and Neural Theft popped, and the attackers are at least spotted out. But what information do you want other than the fact that they're on site? You already know that. The Flood retake trying to come through, but wow, will find themselves falling to the ground, and Sherb just barely tagging on to Random Schmuck, making this one doable, but not done yet. 1v2 still left to go. And now, Sherb going for the wall bang, but you can't wall bang that right side. NT. 5 bullets left in the clip and in the gun overall. Now grabbing the Odin instead, and might just opt to save it at this point. Still looks like they're going to swing onto it anyway and will fall down. You got yourself an even game.
Absolutely. You know, like we said at the beginning, thankfully, right? Thankfully, this is closer than all the other matches have been today. So, you know, it's looking like we're going to have a very, very long day for us, long rest of this series. But at the same time, right? Economy-wise, Sonar having to buy a Guardian, Galaxy having to buy a Bulldog. It's not looking as hot as it should be for Pugstars.
Breaking the dead wall towards B main, and now it seems like they're going to go for a pace change already. Sherb just anchoring that site down, though, and will find the value. Will make this one even so much more doable to stall it on through. Oh, this spam's going to be deadly, and it is, finding at least some sort of advantage. Galaxy now funneling all the players down just to lane. And that is a death trap. It is 4-3, and I believe my calculations are correct. Oh, never mind, they aren't. I was going to say the first lead, but no, they find themselves back in the lead.
Yeah. You know, one thing that round that did, like, very well for the side of Pugstars is, you know, it gave them that Hunter's Fury. They see someone planting, or, you know, they just know where people are. They just start firing that Hunter's Fury away. It does massive, massive damage, and it can deny a plant just like that.
A main the contest this time, and choosing to break the turret and show themselves. Could give a little bit of evidence that this Omen is crossed, but maybe they also heard it too. You never know, Sonar. I don't know if you want to use that paranoia just quite yet, because that's your only flash. It's the only thing you have to show any sort of resistance. And smoking this would reveal the cross. Oh no, Antmo. You go for a wide swing, and somehow you find the kill onto both. That hold completely dismantled. This is pure disaster for the defensive side. You're letting the offense get back on into this, and they are rewarded with the Sheriffs. Galaxy at least finding the value with the Hunter's Fury, but maybe just a little bit too late. The double shot coming on through. Is it good? It is! Random Schmuck will fall, and he's probably typing nerd in chat. That's sometimes what you gotta do for a kill. Turret broken yet again, and sure, trying to flood on through, but the pressure provided from that Killjoy ultimate to make this even so much more tougher. Atmo looking in the correct direction as Galaxy is not. And 3 very big kills to make this an even game yet again. This one feels back and forth.
I mean, not only does it feel back and forth, it really is back and forth. The only real leads that we have are when Pugstars, you know, were just 1 up, right? There was 2-3, and then it was 4-3. There, you know, now it's 4-4. This is one of the most even games that we've seen lately.
Well, I'd rather an even game than a blowout, I feel like. It's a little bit more entertaining, and it makes the tensions just that much higher. The A aggression, it felt like they're trying to change it up once again. The trip is going to get hit through, but opting to get out instead. Defense still finding the damage, and that has got to hurt. It feels like every time one team gets the momentum, they immediately lose it. And that just comes down to the gunplay. Sure, the game plans are correct here and there, but when it goes down to it, it feels like just Flood retake versus Flood retake.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Flood retake, we're going to see them start. Smarty gets picked. Or Smarty picks off Sherb. Galaxy gets 1, but Yeet Attic picks both Galaxy and Solar. And where was WoW?
On the Frank. My boy was franking like a hot dog. That's probably not a good analogy, but
it's an analogy nonetheless. But yeah,
I mean, thrifty.
Yeah, and a very good thrifty nonetheless. A round that they probably desperately needed, you know? Arrow is being able to get the operator back online with Galaxy getting the Odin up, and the buy from the side of Mickey Masters being a little lackluster. And, you know, like we said, they are 1 up. They're taking the lead. It is 5-4. I wouldn't be shocked if Mickey Masters ends up winning this round to make it 5-5.
You know, I'll do your prediction one better. I think one of the teams this time is going to win the round.
I sure hope so. I sure hope so.
It's a draw. No, I mean, there's plenty of ultimates online, so this is definitely going to be a scrappy battle yet again. There's the Annihilation, the Hunter's Fury, everything popped, and, well, you run out into a field of the entire enemy team. Yeah, you're probably going to get punished for that. But the damage not done from the defensive side, just the Odin spray, and it won't even tag up the first player. The swing could come through this ledge, always a fun one. But Sova drone to allow them to keep walking on up. The swing timing is there, but the shots are not. And this one just made slightly more doable for this little Pugstars defense. Here they go with the retake yet again, or maybe they aren't, as it seems like the Sova's just dipping on away. Arrow was, I guess, trying to bait, and this is honestly kind of a weird save call for me.
I mean, kinda, it is a really pretty weird save call, but at the same time, they are saving, you know, 2 guns that have massive, massive potential, as well as they cost quite a lot of money. They're saving the operator, and they're saving the Odin. You know, it allows Galaxy to get the Odin and keep it for next round, as well as giving Arrow back the operator to potentially get some really good picks. I told you, like I said, Mickey Masters, they aren't really going to let them have a lead for a long time. It is now 5-5. The only lead that any team has had is when they are up by 1.
Just feels like... Well, here's my thought on the save call, right? You're now forcing your team to buy up in this round where now one player has a Stinger Light Shield. Sure, you might not have had the most credits in the world to do that, but think about it. If you save that round, you go down, maybe you win it, but if you go down, right, you're still going to be saving for the next round anyway, which would be the last round of the half. So if you lose this one here, you're just kind of forcing up your next round, which is already going to make you at a disadvantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And WoW not only gets 1, 2, but gets 3. 4 Pug Stars. Oh,
Okay.
my lord.
Okay. Well, you can chill out, homie. Okay, no, you can't. You can at least get a 4th one before going down. And see, maybe the save was kind of irrelevant because WoW just destroyed them all. Maybe you just need a rifle on WoW the entire game, and that's it. You can save every round. As long as WoW is having rounds like that, you are all set for victory. But now the final round of the half coming on through, and it feels like without those hero plays, we are seeing... I hate to say it. I hate to keep saying it, but the even game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and you know, like they really did prove they didn't have to save. They were confident enough to where they were just able to pick it off. But at the same time, you know, you have the annihilation on side on for Raph, you have the From the Shadows from Yeet and Attic, but you also have From the Shadows on the side of Sonar and the Blade Storm.
Oh, it's sniped through the door. Oh, only a classic. And finally broke the player out, but missed too many bullets in the first clip of the Vandal. So unfortunately, WoW will go down. A 4v3 for the attacking side, and the execute was just the same as the pistol, only this time there are plenty of guns. Updrafting over the wall! That's a big gamble, but Arrow, it pays off! And now, just 2 players remaining for those attackers. You have a tall task in front of you, a 1v2. It's doable, but it cannot be done this time. Galaxy strikes with the Odin, and a 7-5 half. Finally, a lead more than 1 round.
I thought the bomb got planted.
Did it not?
No.
What?
No, the bomb didn't get planted. They just won the round. But you know, I mean, absolutely, yeah, you really don't have to worry about the money situation, and you want to try and win the numbers advantage. You want to try and at least get a numbers advantage. But at the same time, when you're staring down, you know, when you're staring down Arrow and you're staring down, you know, the rest of little Hug Stars, you really, really can't just try and play numbers games. They are going to take advantage so much and evidently win 2 rounds in a row.
This game, maybe not the clinic of crazy understanding of the game, but the executes are clean. That's for sure. You can give them that. These teams well ironed. They have some solid protocols. I want to see that IGLing excel just a bit more, but new side, maybe new game. Antmo with the first kill with the pistol, and I'm sure there are plenty more to come. There's the second, but the shock dart takes him out instead. And now the flood comes on through. Remember, that bomb is not even down, but they're still going to go for the gamble anyway, and there's 2 shots, and Yeet Attic just barely. 1 more bullet landing from WoW would have done it, but it is not. It's coulda, shoulda, woulda. And that's a 7-6 lead, just closing in yet again.
Absolutely, right? Like, you see, both players weren't really that focused on trying to counter strafe, weren't really focused on movement. They just both sat there. One of them crouched and just shot. They were fighting basically to the death, a old school Western duel at that point. Just stand there and shoot.
I mean, to me, this is so strange, right? Because there hasn't been a single fake from either team yet. There's been a rotate here or there, but it's very clear when they are rotating. And when that happens, there's no cut noise rehit. It always has been the full-on rotate. So it feels like the plans are kind of surface level, but the execution is impeccable from these teams. And that's why you see these rounds come through just a battle of the gunplay, right? This is, I believe, hold up, it is the attackers pick. So it is going to be that Mickey Mouse side, right? No, I'm lying. The Little Pug Stars side. So they chose this, and maybe not the lead that you want to have on your map, but still something. And oh my gosh, Schmuck just caught out wide in the open. That's a free Guardian. We'll certainly take that.
Absolutely, and that draws some more attention over towards the A side. You see Sova, you see Smarty immediately rotating over, but, you know, WoW is just sitting in there, and Sonar knows this, and Sonar is slowly making their way all the way towards the B site. But it's if the rest of the team is going to make that call to start rotating over, because it's better to have like 3 players over there rather than none. But Smarty picks off Sherb, and B site is completely open. Every single player is either sitting towards mid or on A site, and you know they know the rotates are coming over when they see, you know, when they see Arrow walking over.
Arrow, your job is to live here. Do not commit your life. Well, okay, you committed your life. That's that's unfortunate, but at least you get 1, right? Makes it a little bit more doable for your teammates on site. But if you would have lived, right, that's more time you stole from the retake. They have to clear you on out because they're eventually going to have to deal with you. Sonar. The classic is beautiful. The Marshall not quite great in that scenario, and maybe this one will go the way of the classics. We'll see. The Sheriff does not find any value, but it is the classic yet again, and this time a Thrifty off the back of Sonar having some nice shots. It's 8-6, but not in the fashion you'd think.
Yeah, and you know, both teams are playing phenomenally, right? You look over and you see, wow, Sentinel player absolutely fragging out of their mind. But you look over and you see Yeet and Attic on Omen. 15 assists. And we're not even halfway through this half yet. Halfway through the half.
Called a quarter.
No.
Little Pug Stars, I mean, this is somewhere they want to be, but remember, in terms of the confidence coming from this game, Little Pug Stars was, I believe, a 13-3 victory. Mickey Masters, the game that we saw earlier, they had a 13-0, so these teams very used to dominating, but Mickey Masters actually had just won their previous game 13-10, so they're kind of used now to this blow-for-blow battle, and it might come to bite them if they can't get back to their dominant selves, especially now that you find yourself getting first picked. Gerb finding that first one, and, well, do they expect Rafe in this smoke? Yes, it seems like they do. Can you timing the drone? Yes, you can. That can be some deadly space if you choose to take it. But tucking into wine, the players are now aware, choosing to just hold the space as opposed to making a risk, and already this defense has given up the B site. This feels very, very strange to me because you have A main control. Why give up B?
Honestly, I don't even think I could tell you, right? They know exactly if there's any players B. They know that they have mid control. They know if someone's going to swing out in mid, and Galaxy picks off Antmo from mid. And it is just phenomenal to see how well the side of Little Pug Stars is taking advantage of these flaws.
I asked for a little bit more of that depth in the IGLing, and we're feeling it here from Little Pug Stars. They really have some plans going, and oh boy, it rewards them with a flawless round. Mickey Masters, you're seeing them not play the traditional way in terms of that defense, and it might be harming them just a tad, the over-rotation from Antmo that time, or at least, I don't know what happened. They just didn't have any info towards that B site, and that's a little untraditional.
Yeah, they had all the information out towards A main, but really the second they have that player in A main, and the second they have a player holding mid cubby or holding bottom of cat, they should immediately know that there is nobody trying to push towards A, and they need to stack over towards B.
Revealing area.
Cam for Dart traded in terms of Util, but no kills coming out just quite yet. Some players tagged up, but yeah, you gotta be dangerous. WoW's got a Guardian, and two players fighting for that B aggression very heavily is going to allow the attackers to work their way through mid, through A main, hold that space, and really take it as well, because if you know they're playing aggro B, their chances are not pushing towards the A site, and they know this, right? Little Pug Stars, they are aware, and oh boy, tagged up by the opposing Deadlock, but arrow will fall. The shots are good for Yeetnatic, but eventually will fall. The Annihilation available, but this is going to put a little bit of a pause in the attack here. And Rafe saw the cage and saw the Cypher dip away, but feels like they're just going to keep going on in for this execute. Tucking from the Dart will provide a little bit of a timing. There's the Annihilation, finds one kill and brings them wide out into the open. That's a one kill for me, but one kill for you as well. Smarty, the Odin is big. Now the Guardian from WoW, a little bit lackluster in that scenario. It's not in that one though. And now a 1v2 for sure. Sherb has done it before. Rafe also saw it on that Deadlock, just buying time for the player from Heaven to come on out, trying to isolate the stool, trying to make sure panic, and it will get done. Trip for trip activated. The wide swing is good. Rafe get themselves on the board in this half, and Mickey Masters don't let this one get too out of hand.
They really needed that. They desperately not only needed the win, but they really needed less players to die, because look at the economy from the side of Mickey Masters. You know, the Jet doesn't have Blade Storm available, so has to buy a Guardian. Yeet Attic is buying a Judge. You know, me and you both have seen players with Judge go crazy, but we've also seen the opposite, right?
That's true.
And you know, the Operator coming online for Arrow, the Odin coming online for WoW. They are looking to punish this B spot.
Oh, was that a pre-fire or did they actually spot them?
Scanning ahead.
That
I
looked.
I don't think I could tell you.
That was something. I will give you props for that. And as Arrow said in chat, nice shot. Agreed with you, my friend. But that's gonna make everybody chill out for a hot second. I would agree, right? Two players aggroing towards B yet again. You haven't been able to break through this hold. What do you do to attack it a second time?
Honestly, they just have to pick out this KJ fast, but that Molly does go down. The KJ did take a bit of damage from the shock dart, and right now, Smarty gets one, gets two. Wow, gets the trade, but unfortunately, that decreases the numbers advantage very, very significant, because now you're sitting in a 2 versus 5. You both have ults online. You are sitting with a neural theft as well as your
30 seconds left.
Hunter's Fury, but you know, the Annihilation being online for Mickey, it's not looking too hot right now for the side of Little Pugstars.
Weapon here.
Yeah, and it looks like the call is just to save here, right? Saving through the op, saving through what I believe was an
10
Odin.
seconds left.
And oh, that might be a bit of a problem, but we'll see if that gets fixed. There was a little bit of a disconnect, but yeah, okay. We are going to have pause coming in after this round, but hey, another win for the defensive side, and something finally was just recognized from that defense to be like, oh, this is all we have to do to stop them from pressuring us and smacking us around? Okay, let's do that. The A executes have been good for the attackers, but eventually those flood retakes have been scaring them off.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, like we said, we will be having a little bit of a tech pause. Antmo has, you know, we don't know if Antmo's internet has decided to go out, or if Antmo, in all shock and awe that they won another round, accidentally kicked their PC. So we might find out at the end of the game, but I do highly doubt that. But a massive thing that, you know, that Mickey Masters are doing, and that they're doing so well right now, is, you know, they're not giving them space. They decided to stop falling back. They kept holding the angles that they had until, you know, they had clear and cut confirmation that they had to rotate over.
Yeah, it feels like this game is a battle of both teams knowing what the opponent's doing, and also the complete opposite. Feels like every round is just a different story, and no trend that we see before kind of is reflected in the next few rounds, other than the fact that this game is back and forth. It just, from an analytical standpoint, I'm kind of grasping at straws, because I'm like, I don't really know what's going wrong for one side or the other. I really would need to sit down and really think about it on what's going on with the pieces of util or the gunplay. You know, maybe just take this round and look at one individual player, see what their part is, and maybe you'll start to find the cracks and the problems, or why this game isn't so dominant in one way or the other.
Absolutely. I mean, the first thing I can immediately look at was, you know, random schmuck. Massive entry duelist. But you're going double negative, 7-14. That's not at all what you want your duelist to look like. You want your duelist to at least be going positive. Or maybe if we get the statistics looking at, you know, obviously end of the round, we will let one of you know, but you know, the first bloods, right? The first bloods is exactly what you want your duelist to do. You want your duelist to be getting in there, getting those first picks, and if they die, so what? They did their job. They got you information. They got the first pick, and they're doing exactly what their role and their character is fitted to do.
I mean, random schmuck, yeah, I agree. I don't want to say should pick the Reyna, but you can tell they're definitely more comfortable on the play style that Reyna has because it allows them to get more aggressive. They have that safety net. And sure, both of those duelists on defense, they're supposed to peek aggro, dip on away, but that hasn't been the success. Random Schmuck, I think if you get set up with a flash, that would help you. But guess what? There's no flashes. And so I think that's also one of the things that it comes down to, right? Everyone's just staring at smokes and you're just running on through them. You have to either choose to spam or just stare at it. Because either way, you know someone's walking through the smoke. It's just about if they wait for it to dissipate or if they're going to disrespect you entirely.
Yeah. And, I mean, the biggest thing that, Mickey Masters was doing that made them lose, 2 rounds in a row was they'd have these players holding all of the massive angles, like holding A main, holding almost the entirety of mid, but yet they're drawing they have their rotates drawn all the way towards the side where they are holding every entrance that they can. And then B side is just completely left wide open. They have stopped rotating early, and it has been working for them a lot lately. Well, 2 rounds.
I mean, props to these two teams, right? They're not letting it get out of hand. But we talk about momentum from previous games, right? Little Pug Stars pretty dominant in that one, 13-3. And now you see them kind of going blow for blow. And this one actually, a bit of a break, right? A bit of a timeout for both of these two teams to catch their breath and stop playing dang Valorant for 17 rounds straight, right? You get to breathe. And that's going to either make the jitters go away because you have time, or it's going to have the complete opposite effect and start getting you those jitters. I mean, you already see the players jumping around in lobby while they're waiting. And does that mean that you see an aggressive sort of play come out from both of these teams because they're so eager? I would put some money on the fact that somebody is going to overheat this round because they're just excited to play the game again.
Absolutely. And, you see in chat right now, we are looking to see if there is a possibility for an ETA, but unfortunately, we ourselves do not know what happened. And looks like there was a power outage for the side of Antmo, so we may have to talk to one of our tournament admins to see what the ruling is for this.
Well, ironically, I'm both a caster and a tournament admin today. So let me check the ruling real quick. You keep yapping and I'll look at the rules real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I get. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to just yap so that you guys, not only have to think about the game itself, but one thing that I've seen a lot of use in Pugstars, not only comps but how much they're like what guns they're buying. The operator has had such an impact with Arrow, and I don't even think that Arrow is going to be the one that is getting this op right now. I believe that WoW is going to keep the operator, and it is just absolutely absurd how good not only WoW is, but a lot of these teams are with Vandals, with with any gun in this game, really. And right now, so far, looks like the 5 minutes are up. It looks like we do have confirmation that the player is going to be back, but the ruling is, you have a disconnect timer, and unfortunately, if it goes past that timer, it is up to the opposing team on if they want to take the forfeit. Personally, I don't think that they are going to take the forfeit just due to the fact of they really want to keep playing this Valorant, and if it takes an extra minute or so be it. They've already been playing Valorant for the past several hours?
Several hours since 7 p.m. EST, and it is 11 right now, so that would be 4 hours straight. And this is only map 1 of potentially 3 days. There we go. Atmo is back, but if we do see another power outage, you might be a little bit worried on whether this one continues to that map 3. But hey, we got everybody here. Everyone's in the lobby, and I found the ruling. There is supposed to be a 5-minute sort of timer, but I'm not going to force that on the players, right? If they want to play it out and wait for it, I don't see why they shouldn't be allowed to wait. I believe their forfeit option is available. But, in the fairness of good sportsmanship, we're going to play on. We're just waiting for Antmo to give us the all clear, and we should be going on in. Yippee.
Yeah, it does, like you said, does look like Antmo's back. And it does look like so far these teams really did want to play. But, a big thing that can happen with power outages is your internet starts to get a little iffy. So we will get to see, we will see if this is going to, if this potentially can affect. It looks like we are going to need another 2 minutes.
Okay.
Or
well,
are
you wanna
we
play rock,
going
paper, scissors?
live? Or are we going live at 11:01 p.m.?
I really don't know. But that's why we got time to talk. 11:01 EST. That seems to be what the case is. So, lovely weather we're having.
Lovely. I might have a heat stroke in my own room at this point. It is very warm right now.
Hey, there we go. Everybody's all set, and I guess we could have talked about it during the break that if you guys do want to sign up for these tournaments and play in them, you can join the Discord, visit the Battlefly page, check out the Twitter, all those options available to participate and maybe take your cut of the cash prize, that $200 prize pool. But these players, everyone's secured it, I believe. It's just now to who can take the most.
Right here we see Odin spray. Smiley just constantly spraying that Odin, picking off Galaxy and getting a lot of damage done. So wow, but sure picks off Rap. But if I'm not mistaken, I did see Random Schmuck get a pick as well, but gets picked off by Sonar. But is WoW aware of the player behind? Well, they will be now.
Surprise. Yeah.
Peekaboo.
Peekaboo. Game of whack-a-mole with the operator. But yeah, the neural theft used, everybody now aware of positionings, but still a tough decision to make, right? Where do you choose to hit? I mean, it was back and forth before the break, and it seems to be the same here. The attackers, these little Pugstars teams, they definitely like to take up all the time in the round to make sure they are very, very cohesive in their, gameplay and in their decisions. But will that mean that gives
30
more time for
seconds
Mickey
left.
Masters to react? Well, they are a little unsure where the players are coming from, but they do have the information that they will be aware of where they do end up going. Cypher Cam is popped, and that should give the go-ahead to rotate on over. Molly's to stall, but it is 10 seconds, a team blind, and this bomb actually has to go down. They might have taken a little too much time. Antmo spots a barrel, and that's good for one. Now, can just stall this plant, just has to swing, and you've got yourself a win. You just have to swing, and there you go. There it is, and that's a round for the defenders. Tie game, and nothing has changed after the break.
Nope, nothing really has changed, and we're back, to an even game, but wow. And I'm not meaning I'm in awe, but wow. Sitting with the operator, got a pretty good pick through glass, but unfortunately was not able to secure the plant. And, that brings us to 9-9. That is 3 rounds in a row for Mickey Masters, though. They could be taking that momentum and potentially putting it towards these next 2 rounds.
They could be, and they could also not be. I mean, the duality of Valorant, we saw these teams starting to break out, and then it just bounced right on back. Do we see the same take place here? I mean, a shock dart, I would assume, was trying to go for the broken trip, but the operator on attack has been interesting for me because it's not allowing little Pugstars to get as aggressive as they want. And that also means you can't trade the players because now you're posted up on an angle. You're really relying for that to keep the space. Arrow, at least a 1-for-1 trade, but the trades are going to help the defenders. Sure, it spreads them a little bit more thin, but that's less util that you have to deal with on your entry.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not only is that your jet going down for entry, but at the same time, that's your jet going down for retake, and Raph picks off Sherb. And that's, you know, I don't want to say it, but at the same time, that is the deadlock diff.
I mean, at this point, you can say it because we all know that whatever we say, it just goes the opposite way in the next round anyway. So you're gonna see the other
30
deadlock
seconds left.
winning. Galaxy, this is very, very ambitious. Oh, the timing on the swing out. Antmo picks the right one, and it is good, but only for a 1-for-1 trade. Finally, the 2v2 is now the name of the game. The Hunter's Fury available for potentially that retake. But you have to be careful you don't ult your teammate. Sonar is heard, and actually, just the blind comes on through. There's the Hunter's Fury. The shots not quite landing, and bouncing a little bit too far out. Just 1 HP, and Wraith finds 3 on the round. That's 4 in a row for the Mickey Masters. And do you think finally they figured them out?
You know, as much as I'd like to say that they actually did figure them out, but, you know, like you said, anytime we say something, it immediately goes in the opposite direction. So, as we say, they potentially did figure them out. We also have to think, what if this is the plan from Pugstars? Let them have a few, and then just wipe the floor.
Well, to be fair, you know, the gameplay that little Pugstars have been playing for the past 4 rounds is going to change up now because they don't have an op in their hand. They now have the weaker weaponry. It's going to force them to play a different style. So whether they know it or not, they really are going for an adaptation. It just may or may not be the right one. It's kind of the one that they're forced into making. The slow play really not going to work out in their favor. But who knows? Maybe the trades will. 1-for-1 is Arrow. Pops the Blade Storm. Can't quite land the kills onto the second. Now just 2 knives remaining. Gets wall banged. And Wraith will be victorious. Players slipping on down. And it feels like you're down. Not quite out yet. But Yeetnatic might find this timing. And does! And just barely lands the final shot. I say just barely. But there were plenty left in the clip.
I mean, I'd hope that there's a lot left in the clip if you're shooting at Odin with the few bullets left. Sure, picks off a great shot on the Yeetnatic. Does catch down Wraith, but nobody is there to get it. I think Wraith is still gonna die here. And they do. Sure, still gets the kill, but at the same time, Antmo does secure the round for their team. And we see Random Schmuck now has the operator in hand.
You know, at this point, I'd like to see a hard fake from the attackers, to be honest, because they haven't done that yet. There's been flood retakes a lot of the time. Pump a fake, right? Do something to bait over those rotates, then you can get yourself a little bit more space. You insert a lurk. If you have a late lurk, too, those will be great for you. Make sure you have some space mid your Cypher just being a rat. And maybe you'll find yourselves with an extra round, but now Mickey Masters with that 11-9 score line, and maybe another off the back of this operator from Random Schmuck. We'll see how this goes. Having a little bit slower of a game earlier, still only on 9 kills, but maybe the pressure just enough to bring them over the line. See how this plays out after what I assume is the deadlock while falling.
Yeah, it should be the call here. I think Random Schmuck did get spotted out from Sherb. Took a warning shot, but did not connect. Sherb is slowly walking up. Gets the wallbang onto WoW, but doesn't get the kill. What an absolute beauty of a shot. And the Annihilation comes out. It catches Arrow. And I don't know if Arrow does get broken. Raph gets 1, gets 2. Gets picked off by Galaxy.
And the lockdown's available for when this bomb gets tapped. You know that's what they're trying to do. And it feels like they're aware of the Cypher. Yes, okay, they are. The ping comes on through, but they're still going to pop the ult anyway. They're going to give up that space. It seems like they're just playing for the fight to come through, and that it will. But the lockdown's still up and going. You're going to get detained whether you get the kills or not, and it does not matter. That is 12, and map point for the Mickey Masters. It's a little costly in terms of ultimates, but still the round to knock little Pugstars onto an eco in what is their map pick.
Absolutely, and this is something that I was not expecting. You know, coming back from a tech pause, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're now up 6 in a row. It is going to be 12-9 right now for Mickey Masters. But do you think with the bye right now that Pugstars have with the two, or actually, correction, with just the one Guardian, to see if they're actually going to be able to do much against two Odins, two Rifles, and an Operator?
I mean, I just want them to play together. That's what it comes down to here. Yes, it's going to be costly. Yes, you might not be able to afford that. But your best chance is maybe just to overwhelm. The spam is not quite good. An arrow will pick up the first. The rifle paying its dividends. And sure. Oh, wait a minute. I was going to say that got off relatively cleanly. But Yeet and Attic at least finding one through the wall and getting out.
That was absolutely... Was that a wall bang?
It was, yeah.
I did not even know you could wallbang that. Ammo picks off. Wow. This is a great retake. Ammo gets one more. Arrow and Sherb both pick off the other. Sherb gets two. The op sitting in the hands of Schmuck, but Arrow picks off random Schmuck, and that is 10-12. There is still at least one more game of Valorant left to be played.
Yeah, Smarty actually just overheated there. You know, had the Odin, got the first 2 kills, and then dropped out of heaven, which we all know when you jump out of heaven, unless you're down by a lot, you're not going to hit that shot, right? It only takes a circumstance where you shouldn't win it to have you win it. And they don't end up getting the kill. Everyone drops together, leaving the op alone on heaven. Really, you should just play off the contact, wait for somebody to peek you, and then all converge onto their position. But right now, yeah, like you mentioned, Pugstars at least living for an extra round. Make the Arrow, who's not living this round. Annihilation pops, but finds absolutely air. Instead, it's going to be Sherb falling down to the Odin spam. The smoke is going to dissipate. Uh-oh, Antmo's in an off angle, but it's not an ideal one because you're stuck here. You can't quite see. And oh boy, this is going to be close. No smoke dissipating just yet. It feels like that smoke has lasted forever. But, oh, it's a fun little trip in logs. It's going to clear out logs, but not going to get you any more kills. It's still a 5v3. The Odin spam could be deadly to this Omen with just 1 bullet. I think that was a gun inspect animation, but either way, it just leaves Sonar, and the spam finally will come through the wall. It felt like a 30-year-long game, but it is 13-10 in favor of Mickey Masters.
Absolutely, and a very smart play from Antmo to wait for the Jet to dash all the way through to get that pick. And what a phenomenal game nonetheless. I do have the statistics up here. There were quite a bit of first bloods. Antmo having 4, Raph having 4, and
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This could be the final match of the night, or it could not. My name is Arcast here with Zurak, and we have the Spate Skirmish #2 Grand Finals brought to you by Lux. And, well, this one is going to be already, it has been a fun one, but now you move on to map 2, which is going to be Bind, and one of these teams has 13-0'd on this map today.
Yeah, and hopefully, and I mean hopefully, we don't get another tech issue like we did last map, because as great as it is, we really don't want to have to enforce the ruling, which is if the tech pause is a certain time, and we think, at the discretion of both teams, we really don't want to have to make a team forfeit. These comps.
Well, they could play it out. I mean, well, they could play out the
4v5.
4v5. Hear me out. Hear me out.
I'll hear
Game
you out.
3. Game 3. It's we'll say 10-3, and there's a DC with the team that has the 10, and they opt to play it out and try and claim 3 rounds. That sounds fun to me.
As much as that does sound fun to me, it depends on the player that does go out, right? Because if it's their best player, then I don't really know too much about that one. But these comps that we're seeing a double duelist coming out from Pugstars, but at the same time, we're also seeing a different set of duelists coming out from Mickey Masters. This was the exact same comp, I believe, that they ran last time, which was having that deadlock over a Cypher, but for some reason, Deadlock has been picked a lot lately, but then you look over at Pugstars, they have a Yoru.
Yeah.
We've seen Yoru have some good benefits, not only in, tier 2, but even tier 1 scene, but at the same time, if you don't know how to play it well enough, it becomes one of those agents where it's not as useful as it needs to be.
It's definitely kind of a testament of how well do these teams understand the game, right? Because Yoru is not going to be your space-making duelist, not going to be your entry duelist. He's more of an initiator. An aggro one, I'll give you that. But kind of, the dimensional drift used to spot out players, the clone used to kind of pair with a duelist, whether that is the Yoru himself or a different one to kind of bait away sight lines, just as a flash would, because it does pop. And you do have flashes just to add on to the kit. So, it really kind of does provide all of these different options, and really it's just about which one will you utilize. For Mickey Masters, they're up 1-0 in this series, the best of 3. They just need to take this one, and they're set up to do so. But can they replicate the success they saw before? We'll have to see as they take it down B long this time to find out some contact, and they do spot out both players. They're going swinging, and Sonar will at least get one, but you have to assume everybody's going to start running through the heal. And the reload is good, and Random Schmuck, you can tell, is much more comfortable now. Wraps into elbow, and they have to be aware.
No surprises.
I don't think they are. I mean, WoW might actually be aware, but at the same time, WoW might easily catch this timing onto Random Schmuck through the smoke as they push into their spawn. Galaxy picks off Smarty. WoW actually does take out Random Schmuck. Raph does get blinded with the Gecko Dizzy, and unfortunately, Wingman not being able to run around the wall, but both players are currently sitting out in U-Haul and in Lamps. And this might just go the side of Pugstars. Galaxy gets immediately taken out by Raph, but both players, one is just going to defuse and the other is going to hold, or they're both going to swing. And WoW picks off Raph, and that will secure the pistol round for little Pugstars.
I was going to say, the only way that you lose this round is if you don't stick, right? But they choose not to, and they won the round, so I guess if you trust in your team that much to double swing and win that, so be it, right? Mickey Masters, they're gonna stumble here, but again, pistol rounds, we saw them be a little bit weaker on, and right when they get their guns, that's when they have the fun times. But Outlaw's in the picture now, and we mentioned how strong Outlaws are.
Absolutely. Outlaw does have a lot of potential, like you said. Even if you miss the first bullet, you have the second one.
Heck yeah. Helps players like me who suck at aiming. But these guys, they don't really suck at aiming. Sure, we've seen some whiffs here or there, but it's all in good fun. And luckily this time we haven't seen as many team kills as well. Arrow, well, with the Judgment, Random Schmuck with a Guardian, forced on up, and it's the same play as Pistol. No space anywhere else, but still the kills found, and the gun cycled on out, but still damage done.
Yeah, right now, sure. Looks like they are setting the clone down, getting ready to hopefully fake the entirety of Mickey Masters out. But our clone does get pulled out. I don't think it is going to get shot, but it does not detect anybody. This Judge from Arrow could go massive, but opts use the Sheriff, gets one, gets two. Uses the Judge to get the third and kills Smarty. And that is your second round, your anti-eco.
Well, there was a vision there, and I saw what that vision was. It was a good one, but you need to realize, okay, we saw a Yoru clone, which is their rotator, because Yoru has that TP. So if the fact that Yoru is already there, that means that's the stack site. So you should probably cancel it at that point. I understand they're trying to do a lot of damage, but maybe slamming that TP, especially with already one player taken down, is going to be a bit better for you. You're probably going to have an advantage even if they know where you are.
Absolutely. You know, one thing we saw Mickey Masters do a lot of was just run in and hit the site as hard as they can. And Antmo picks off. Wow. Fortunately, that Outlaw was not able to do a bunch of damage. Raph is, you know, getting killed by the Sky, but was sitting on a very uncomfortable amount of HP. Arrow still sitting with the Judge. And, you know, everybody's rotated off. B is completely open, and sure gets one with the Bucky, but gets immediately traded off by Antmo. And Schmuck gets a wonderful kill onto Arrow, and there goes your duelist.
There goes your duelist, and there goes your initiator as well. Random Schmuck feeling much better. Antmo now on the Sky as opposed to the Killjoy can be a little bit more aggressive there, and that has been what Mickey Masters have really succeeded on, is that aggression.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the ability to just completely overwhelm a site with not only, you know, having that raise, but not only having your traditional raise, but having your double duelist, and that duelist being Reyna, who is really set on just being able to rush into site. It's just massive. The Empress does come online for Random Schmuck, so hopefully we get to see them use it, and they do pop it, but Arrow picks off Raph with a grab detonate combo.
It's like the equivalent of having a fade on Lotus, but instead it's now the Deadlock and Bind, and Deadlock paying off time and time again. Just one player stuck next to a box, and although this game might be 3-1 and you hate to call things early, you might see a map 3 in our sights.
I mean, as great as it would be to see map 3, you know, that map... Have we announced which map that is yet?
We have. It is Abyss.
It is Abyss, yes, and that... As great of a map as it is, you know, it is one of the maps where we will probably see someone fall off the edge at least once, right?
Wait, so you want to see Abyss then? Because we want to see comedy happen.
But at the same time,
maybe not.
maybe you're right on that one. I'll let that one simmer for a bit. Sure, throws a blind. Unfortunately, you know, it doesn't catch anybody. Gets at least 2 of them that were full blind, but spots, I think it was at least 3, and unfortunately isn't able to pick anyone off, and that draws the entire team to rotate. If they hit the TP right now, it will be massive if they can just flood out. Wow.
This is a good cut noise. You really have to make them kind of second guess themselves, but unfortunately they didn't leave enough time, so the players are still going to be here. Wraith though with the Sheriff, Sonar popping on off, and that's 3 kills, but now a rifle in the hands of Arena.
One enemy
Random
remaining.
schmuck can make this one doable and will do it. It's a thrifty rifles all around for everyone else. And I guess maybe I did speak too soon because it's 3-2. The thrifty is certainly going to turn the tides ever so much more in the favor of Mickey Masters. And this extra gun round right here could be the one that is the swing for the rest of the half.
Absolutely could be the advantage that they need, but at the same time, the dimensional drift is online for Sherb. The Annihilation online for WoW, the Thrash online for Galaxy, and the Orbital Strike is online for both Brimstones. And the Seeker's online for Ammo. This could be great to draw out that strong side very, very fast.
Attackers once again going towards this B. It feels like they favor this site time and time again, and I guess I don't blame them considering they know the deadlock is on A, but Sherb has just fired blindly through a smoke and has gotten a kill. Is aware, but now the iPad stuck on out for Sonar. Random schmuck will capitalize. And oh boy, this one could be a doozy. Rafe lands the bullets. Arrow almost walking into their own demise. Will throw the paint shell and find some damage, but now two players noted, both in hookah, and the shot's at least good for Galaxy for one, but a 3v2, low HP on one player, and you'd have to assume that this is not going to be the easiest of clutches, especially now when that Dizzy is laying on the floor, especially now that the Molly is here to stall, and even if you do wrap around towards long, they're gonna hear it. You're splitting up your numbers, so the call here is to save, and I believe that is the correct one.
It has to be. Right now. They're just completely set on talking about which strategies to run next. Like, guys, what do we need to do for these next few rounds just to be able to stop them from going through? But Raph took the TP, and Arrow on such low HP really does not want to take that fight. But that is now 3-3 for this half, and the economy isn't looking too good. We see, the entirety of Mickey Masters buying Vandals, rifles, and full shields, but at the same time, for Little Pug Stars, we've got Sherb with a Bucky and at least 3 rifles. Well, one was able to be afforded, and the Spectre coming out, or Stinger coming out from WoW. Apologies, it has been a long day.
And it's going to be a longer one for Smarty, that's for sure. He's going to fall to the ground.
Arrow gets a great pick on the Smarty, and that is the one thing Brimstone really does well with the 3 smokes, is splitting the site up like that. Is you're able to differentiate, putting the entire smoke's backside as well as one up to Heaven so that they cannot get a pick from Heaven at least.
Ooh. That was a very clean jiggle. It almost saves their life, but unfortunately the reswing from Sherb. Clone. Don't whip the clone, and still Sherb will pay off with that. And now 4v2 the case, but a timing there for Rafe. And I thought 100% of the time these players were just going to dip on out, jump through the TP, and now they donate the bomb on over. That's actually going to be much better. Rafe has a solid chance, and that is 4 kills. The final player went down towards short. You knew where they were. But oh boy, I guess not. Wow. Just barely saving the team and a little bit of a tactical crouching towards the end.
Just making sure that that body has no chance of sitting up and potentially shooting back at you. You're making sure, hey, stay down, you're dead, right? But at the same time, Little Pug Stars take the advantage back. And one thing I don't think these teams are going to utilize as often as they should is flanks. Deadlock is one of the easiest to flank against because all you have to do is shift walk through.
Arrow, with the tall task of the entire team in front of them, will choose to back off, and yeah, whether they know it or not, that's certainly going to help their health in that scenario. Unfortunately, the teammate kidnapped right next to Arrow, and Random Schmuck will go down for it over towards Bath, but Sherb also falls. Orbital Strike invested. You'd have to assume there's a Slam TP, but no, there is not. Everyone just choosing to group on up, and there's the Slam TP. Finally, you see a pivot, but they are jumping into what is supposed to be a deadlock setup, and now with this deadlock here making noise, right, exactly, you heard the footstep. Why bother running into that deadlock yet again? choose to go a different way, and they're going to consider their options. Do they want to go back towards A, or should they go towards B long?
If they go towards B long, it gives them the option of slamming the TP again, which is something I really don't see teams potentially utilizing. Is he not only hitting one TP, but hitting the other one right after. Wow, picks off one with a great shot into Eaton Attic, but Antmo immediately picks off Wow, and Sonar is
30
left
seconds
on
left.
site all alone, gets off Antmo, but immediately gets taken out by Raph, and Raph picks off Arrow as well. And that gives the orbital strike up for Raph, but at the same time, the Empress and the Showstopper being online for both Schmuck and Heatnatic.
I think if little Pugstars take down the Brim in that scenario as opposed to the Deadlock, you're going to see the TP get slammed. Because what happens for the attackers? We take down the Deadlock. Hey, that's their site anchor. We didn't see them on A. They're probably on B. That's going to open up the site a lot more for us and make our life much easier. Otherwise, you kill the Brim. Sure, you might have numbers, but you're still having to run through all those stuns, and you might get stalled out just enough to sneak a few guns down. Certainly going to prove costly. So the right decision made, and honestly, the same one now in this one. A little bit of a team blind onto both of them, but they will gain the space. However, they will give up the site, and this B site, again, favored by the Mickey Masters. Yeetnatic will pick up one towards Hookah, but are they aware that two others could be towards Long just this quick?
Spike planted.
And I don't think so. Sure picks off Raph. Smarty gets Sherb. Smarty gets Arrow as well for 2K. But Sonar is currently, sitting towards CT, whereas, Sherb, or Wow, my fault. Wow is sitting all the way back towards Fountain, and I believe they're just going to be playing exit frags. They are going to be looking to get a lot of picks, but Smarty picks off Sonar, and that leaves Wow sitting in a 1 versus 5. Is there any potential where they win this? Immediately, picks off Antmo, and Yeetnatic immediately says, give me that kill. You just killed our Sky. We need to get revenge, and that is exactly what they did.
And not too costly in terms of ultimates, right? All you used was the Empress. So you got two more. The Orbital Strike, the Showstopper still available. The the Seekers coming up soon, as well as that Annihilation. So you're doing a really great job of cycling these ultimates. As for little Pugstars, right? What's their plan here? It seems to be to ult dump. They're farming up that Showstopper, farming up the Annihilation. If they get them both online, you're going to assume they pop them almost immediately if there's plenty of people around them. The Yeetnatic doing the same towards the B site. Their favorite of choice tags down one. That's a free kill there, but are they aware of the Garden player? Yes, they are now that Smarty goes down, but the TP heard. The flash is made, elbow control for sure, but still has to back off, and this will allow for the post-plant positions to get tested for what feels like the first time so far.
Absolutely, and I have to say, with what I've been seeing so far, I think that Sherb is kind of comfortable on that Yoru, but at the same time, the blind from Antmo, being able to spot out a lot of information. Wow, picks off United. Antmo picks off 2, picks off 3, and secures that round 6-4 for the side of Mickey Masters.
Now, what did we say? Cycling those ultimates one at a time, or two if you absolutely need it, but Yeetnatic, right? Using that Showstopper, entering on site. Now you're going to assume that they probably use the Seekers and do the exact same thing. As for this little Pugstar side, right? I want them to have the Yoru over towards this B site yet again. You can throw the TP towards A. Sure, you're playing the game of, well, surely they don't hit this site again, but it just feels like they're making the wrong call. Make it maybe a little bit easier on yourself and realize that Mickey Masters just love hitting B.
Absolutely. You have the Annihilation and the Showstopper coming online for little Pugstars. And you see those 3 players rotating all the way over very, very fast. But at the same time, those Seekers do come out from Antmo and spot out Galaxy sitting out towards Elbow. But all 5 players are now sitting on site. And Galaxy just mollied off one of their only ways to try and retake. So they're sitting at basically just retaking from CT. The dimensional drift coming off for Sherb, and so is the Showstopper. Showstopper doesn't get anybody. United gets Arrow. United gets two, gets three. Sonar picks off two, but Smarty gets the trade, and I don't think that there is anything that Sherb can do. Sherb is just going to sit there and wait for Antmo to just peek. Ooh. And Antmo picks off Sherb, and they do get to keep the guns from last round. This is last round in the half.
I mean, this is just a clinic from Mickey Masters because they're cycling the ultimates and they're really showing, hey, little pug stars, by the way, you all dumped on an eco round. We're going to prove that constantly because now you really don't have any win conditions on your gun round. You've been struggling when it goes toe for toe, everybody having the same buy. What makes you think that it's somehow going to turn the tides now? So that's why I think that Mickey Masters are going to have the upper hand in this round again, especially with two ults coming online. I hate to keep bringing up ults, but that's what's been the factor in these past few rounds.
Absolutely, and you see the Thrash did just come online from getting the ult orb for Galaxy, and the Annihilation immediately getting popped, but nobody's there. There was no information on which side those players were, and now the side of Mickey Monsters is just, it looks like they're just going to flood all the way through site like they normally do, but are they aware of the players sitting in showers? Sherb picks off Yeatnatic. Ammo's on B. He's calling the rotates over. They're calling the rotates.
Oh boy,
Galaxy.
Timing! And
Galaxy gets picked off from Antmo, and the entirety of Mickey Monsters, Mickey Masters sitting up in hookah. Sonar gets one, but Schmuck gets the trade. Galaxy gets wrapped, but unfortunately Schmuck is not able to get the trade, and it's 5-7 in the half, and that will do it for the first half of this map.
my only worry is you don't really have too many space making capabilities if you are that Mickey Masters side. Sure, you have the Rays, and they managed to make do with it, but 6 and 11, not quite the value you wanted to find. That being said, though, you swap over to the defense, and now you have a Reyna that can literally go anywhere they want, dismiss after getting a kill, and just keep taking space. You don't need a Sentinel, that means. So you can just stop a hard push on one site, send your Reyna and maybe your Skye as well towards the other, and there's nothing you can do to stop that except hope that you win the duel against that Reyna, and, well, we all know how that goes from our ranked games.
Absolutely. The whole objective right now that Mickey Masters are doing is they're playing a massive stall game with Brimstone and Raze. Raze Nade is able to stall out most pushes as well as the Brimstone Molly and Smokes. So, fortunate for them, it will be very, very useful. And, Smarty picks off Arrow in hookah, and TP comes over from Yeatnatic. Sherb sitting on about half HP, but they have to, not only do they have to be very, very cautious about this TP, but wow, goes through the TP and takes care of Yeatnatic.
That's a great play. I mean, that's detectable that, hey, that's a clone, right? But still, you're going to take a second to think about it. That's going to drag that crosshair placement off just a tad more, make you think, and you're not expecting the deadlock to come through the TP at that moment. Great job. And honestly, a nice brain game. But still, remember, that's just to get you back even into this round. There's still a testament of, will you hit the B site? Will you slam the TP? And they make the wrong call. Uh-oh, you've got yourself running into the stack site. Antmo's going to rotate over. Sherb, what you got in you? Well, the flash, it completely misses off the top. All the stall just has to come through. The plant will maybe come down, but no, that broken as well with the knife. Just barely. Will leave not enough time for this deadlock to go for the plants, and even though the kill is through, that round is won for the defenders.
Absolutely, and that was a massive misplay from Galaxy. Galaxy wanting to throw that blind that Gecko Dizzy all the way through that smoke, but unfortunately hitting the door frame. I guess Gecko was a little too tall and ended up smacking their head off the door frame. But you know one thing I heard when you said you've got yourself, I was about to say you've got mail.
You've got mail.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. But you know, 8-5 right now. This still could be anyone's game. There is no definitive winner at this moment, right? That was just the pistol round, but Rap picks off Sherb and notices that there is one more there, but not going to commit the peek again. The Raise Nade is going to be used so they can secure the alt orb, but Unatic is holding a really, really good angle and picks off Arrow.
You know, it just sucks to me when you see teams that default when they're on the eco. It's understandable, yes, you want to try and get a gun, but you're going to need to commit maybe a few more players and some util into that engagement. By not doing that, you're just donating over your lives. The trades most likely will not be there if you get pushed, and you can't find the value that you're hoping for. It's just another round chalked up on the board. Sure, maybe you do some shield damage, but that feels like it. An Outlaw spotted now, and the wall bang is there. The trip spotted, another one, and the shot's there yet again. The Raise Roomba is good to distract, and a flawless round from Mickey Masters. As expected, no damage done.
Not at all. And not only a, you know, like we say, a flawless round, but they took no damage. There is not a single bit that they have to buy other than util, and that really doesn't cost a lot when you're not only getting the credits for winning the round, but you're getting credits for any of the kills that you got. So, you know, Yeetnatic still having this Outlaw is going to be massive. Getting a little boost up top. This may be very, very massive when it comes to getting any damage that you need.
Very, very scary for that Lonely Brimstone now in showers, but joined by a friend just to make sure they have a little bit of help. Oh, spotted out towards heaven and does get the kill. Random Schmuck just unlucky in that positioning. Oh, that's ambitious, Yeetnatic. The Outlaw swinging out of a smoke. Spotted, and here's the Guardian, the spam. It's going to be good for something. The question is how much it is. One kill and a tag. And now the Flood through. Hey, inspirational flash. It does tag somebody. The question is, do they know who or where? Answer no. And with just this 2v3, everyone towards lamps. We've seen this before. It was actually the previous pistol, but the smoke on bomb is now a factor. The annihilation as well also coming into play. Antmo gets one. Rafe with another. This could be a bonus round conversion. Somebody's got to get on the bomb though. And the Sheriffs, the Spectre, the wide swing, it's all there. And the defuse will come through. That's Mickey Masters putting themselves in very favorable position to take this series, map, tournament, and everything else.
I really have to get a replay on how that annihilation did not catch Rav. Rav was sitting in the line of sight for the annihilation, but just managed to waltz right through like it was nothing and secured the bonus conversion. And that does some massive, I won't say massive damage because they are still able to buy up their, you know, abilities, some of their abilities, light shields and vandals, but you know, that Outlaw, if it's used correctly, it is going to be massive. Again, Yeetnatic picks off Galaxy and that spike.
Oh, Smarty finds one over towards B, make that Antmo as well. It just feels like this round is chalked up, and I was gonna say, I'd hate this round to be a force-up, because, say, if you lose this, what does that mean? You're now at an 11-5 deficit, you're on your save, you're playing for overtime. That is not what you want to see, sure. You're tested, and, well, not tested very tough. Yeetnatic not looking the right direction, but the bomb at least retrieved, nobody else holding it. But as long as they play together, they should be okay. Sure, being very paranoid as they should be, but now wide swinging all the way out. And now that rotation definitely is heard, right? You're going to hear a slam TP, or at least one player, just enough to make Sherb hesitate. Here's the contact. Here's the contact. Okay, and there it is. Random Schmuck will be victorious, and as expected, 11-5 now the scoreline.
I kind of thought they were just going to sit there watching each other, waiting. But evidently, you know, Sherb does decide to swing out, and it doesn't work out in their favor. Yeatnatic is, you know, I want to say there's a point where you stop buying an outlaw, but when the teams keep force buying
Yeah.
and force buying and force buying, you can't do anything but buy the outlaw.
I mean, it's a lovely gun, and I think this is a great read, too, because you have to think, okay, well, they forced last round, and when they probably shouldn't have, what's going to stop them now? The Judge, it's enough to break you out of the cocoon, but not enough to save your life. Smarty with 2, getting all the value in the world to swing out through the smoke, maybe for sure. But Atmo's just completely aware. The question is there a good enough timing, right? And Sherb's just gonna opt not to swing out instead because they've lost too many players so far. Yeatnatic's just walking up, rolling up on the flank. The spam is good from Smarty. And just like that, it's cleaned on up. You're expecting another force up next round. But 7 chances now for Mickey Masters to take this one home.
Absolutely, and that brings us to what could potentially be last round in this map. But not only in this map, in this whole entire series. Mickey Masters being up 1-0, and this map is 12-5, right? This is their map. Not only can we see it from this game, but the fact they 13-0'd a team on this map.
Who's next?
Well, look at the fact that last game was so close, and now this is the situation you're in. Yeatnatic again with the Outlaw. Detain on 1, but not quite sure who. They've just run and gun. Sherb has a Judge in the smoke and will at least find 2, but now the Classic doing work for Yeatnatic, and it ends in a 2v2. Sonar trying to play a little bit quieter. You know, doesn't have the bomb, but still has to guess at where these players will be. Oh, full blinded. Everyone is full blinded. And just like that, Antmo to make this 13-5. And what was a close series turns into complete domination.
Absolutely right. We, going from map 1, we see what looked to be a really close series, but the second that it changed over to the side of Mickey Masters, immediately they were just like, no, this is going to be our map. And one thing I'd like to really point out is Yeatnatic may not have gotten a lot of kills, had 13 kills, 5 first bloods. Had a really good amount of first bloods right there.
I mean, yeah, you're going to have to have value on your duelists, otherwise you're not going to find the W. And sure, Random Schmuck might have been a little bit quiet in terms of, value across the rounds, but still moments where they popped off, where they were needed, they found it. Smarty, definitely deserving the MVP here, and is the MVP on the top of that scoreboard because of how many times they just stopped the push completely. You have to respect the deadlock because the Annihilation's a free kill. Any sort of stun makes you so that you can't peek. Sure, they tried their hardest, right? The MVP for the losing side, but unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. And maybe, that is because you were on Yoru, maybe not. Maybe it was just you weren't set up correctly. So many things to talk about, but it is the Mickey Masters coming out on top.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that right there, that does it for tonight's broadcast. The grand finals was a really great game. Make sure, you go and follow any of the socials related towards Spate Esports. You'll stay updated. Make sure to follow the Twitch as well. And again, thank you to Lux for, I believe, sponsoring and partnering with us for these kinds of tournaments. I don't think that the prize pool would be possible without them.
Yeah, big shout out there. And also a big shout out to production. Thank you, Mirage, for being our observer. Range Rook for being our producer, doing the beep boop bop behind the scenes. We appreciate you guys as well. And if you guys are curious to hear us yap again, you can type !casters in the Twitch chat to, maybe visit us and maybe yap more to us, find us out. But that is it. The Spate Skirmish number 2 is going to go in favor of Mickey Masters. We will see you guys not next week, but in 2 weeks. We'll see you then, and have a good night.
Take care.